Hello everyone and welcome to the build-up of the Greg Taylor testimonial as Cambridge United take on West Ham United. Kick-off just half an hour away and it's live on YouTube. We're here for the duration of the evening. You're stuck with me until around about kick-off. Charlie will join me. We'll have a quick chit-chat. And then Charlie will be doing the watch-along right through to full time. Then I will go live with the review as always. West Ham are back. World Cup, Schmirl Cup. Well, actually, we'll discuss that in just a minute. There's no World Cup, Schmirl Cup. We're going to discuss the World Cup in just a moment. Before we do, let's take a little glimpse at the West Ham lineup for this evening. It looks like a 4-2-3-1 kind of formation for the Hammers kicking off tonight. We've got Fabianski in goal with the back four of Ben Johnson, Craig Dawson, Angelo Ogbonna and Aaron Creswell, who, of course, wears a captain's armband. Flynn Downs will be partnering Conor Conche in midfield with Michail Antonio up front and attacking midfield three. Pablo Fornals likely to be on the left, Manuel Lanzini and Jared Bowen. It's quite a strong 11 for West Ham, but we kind of have to. We've only got 3 friendlies. We've got 3 friendlies. This is number 1 before we take on Arsenal on Boxing Day. We need to get the senior players minutes. We need to have a look at certain players and hopefully just try a couple of things. It's essentially 3 glorified training sessions. The next one obviously on Saturday in Italy, and then we take on Fulham and the following weekend before that Arsenal game too. So a really strong team. And also I think it's, I guess, nice for Greg Taylor himself to have a strong West Ham team there this evening as well. I think it's important for him. The last thing you want in your testimonial is that your opposition put out a second string 11, isn't it? So yeah, a really good team, a good mix of players there. And the bench is just as strong. And I'd imagine we're going to see everybody tonight. But there's a pleasing player to see on the bench. And we're going to have a little look at that. And this is a very good point, Alison. I did not even notice this. Maxwell Cornet is still missing. Not going to lie, I didn't even notice that. That's a bit worrying, isn't it? I mean, you can't be injured. It was nice one, Alison. You've ruined my evening. And what we'll do now, we'll take a look at who is actually on the bench for West Ham. So we've got Randolph as well as Heggie, the 2 keepers on the bench. You always need 2 keepers on the bench, don't you? We've also got in numerical order, because it's the West Ham graphic is like this, is Vladimir Soufal and Gianluca Scamacca. Scamacca is the one that I was looking out for, you know, with the rumours going around yesterday that he was going to be out for a little while and he was going to miss some Premier League games and stuff. So it was a bit of a worry. But it appears that's not the case. He's on the bench this evening, as is Ben Rama, Emerson, Greenidge, Ekwa, Lang, Sawyer, Apaya Forson, Potts, Forbes, and Earthy. So quite a young bench for West Ham, but as Alison says, Maxwell Cornet is missing. Yes, we'll discuss Nathan Aguerd in just a minute. And Lewis is saying, do you think this game can be used to build confidence? I think it has to be, Lewis. I don't think you can be too picky or choosy. I think you just have to sort of take what you can, kind of thing. And I think at the minute, like I said, it's training sessions and whatever. So when it comes to friendlies, and especially when you've only got 3, if Michail Antonio gets a couple of goals tonight, it can't be a bad thing, can it? It's one of those, friendlies are difficult, isn't it? Because in the summer, you know, I wasn't overly impressed with our friendlies in the summer. That's a good point, Charlie. I am well out of touch with West Ham here, am I? Souček's missing as well. I never even thought about that. So Thomas Souček's missing, as is Maxwell Cornet. But in regards to friendlies, in the summer, I wasn't overly impressed by us. I thought 1 or 2 players had a good pre-season, but generally I was quite disappointed by us. But you get reminded, don't read too much into it. It's only friendlies, yada, yada, yada. And I don't disagree with that analogy. But you can't dismiss them completely. And I think when something happens in every friendly, I think you have to read something into that. But tonight, I'm hoping for a positive performance. I'm hoping for a positive result, to be honest with you. You don't want to ruin Greg Taylor's evening for him or his family, do you? You don't want to smash him 5-0 on his testimonial. But ultimately, we need to get up and running. We've got an important, we're halfway through the season. It's important. Yes, there is streams. Alexander's correct. It will be on the West Ham YouTube channel, so everybody can go watch it. They go live at 7 o'clock, so don't go looking for it anymore. They're not live yet. You're stuck with us until 7 o'clock. then it'll be live. And I recommend what you do is you put the game on and mute it and stick around on here and keep Charlie company in the live chat for the duration of the game, and chat to other West Ham fans, chat to Hammer Chat subscribers in the live chat during the game as well. But yes, it's on YouTube, which is really good. They didn't announce it until today because they wanted to sell tickets for the game itself, so they were keeping it hush-hush until last minute and then put it up so that people hopefully have purchased a ticket and they're off to the game. Now, before we take a look at the Cambridge team, let's talk about this one. Naif Aguerd, Belker touching on the game itself, saying that he couldn't care less. He's happy that Morocco's beat Spain. He loves an underdog. Aguerd went off injured. Now, the good news is, small good news, I'm scraping the barrel here, is after the game was finished, he was on the pitch, he was sort of dancing around and stuff. You know, the referee called for the stretcher. He refused to get on it, but I don't really read too much into that because I think he did that for our pre-season friendly against Rangers. If I'm not wrong, I'm convinced that he hobbled off during that game as well, and then we know how serious that was. So I'm trying not to read too much into the fact that he didn't get on the stretcher. And I was a bit worried because it looked quite drastic. You know, he was having a really good game. He sat down, went off immediately. I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh, no, this is the last thing we need. Aguerd getting injured. The World Cup's supposed to get him back to fitness, and he's, you know, having a good campaign. I've only caught one of these. I caught the final group stage game where he was possibly man of match for Morocco. Tonight, he was having another good game, some last-ditch tackles, some good movements. Once or twice he got caught out. There was a long ball over the top to Asensio earlier in the game, and he was a little bit caught dawdling, if you like, but his pace, you could see his pace as he got back up. But he went off injured. But like I said, full-time whistle went. He was back on the pitch, dancing around. I thought, oh, happy days. That's what we need to see. We need to see Aguerd joining in. Now, I'd prefer he wasn't joining in. I'd prefer he was sat on the dugout with ice on his knee or his groin or whatever. I think it was a groin injury. But hopefully it's not as bad as feared. And actually, I hope it was just a precaution or something that he's actually fit for the quarterfinal. You know, he's going to play either Portugal or Switzerland. Now, what I will say is we've got a bet giveaway tonight. We've got a bet giveaway, not for the West Ham game. Obviously, we can't bet on this game, can you? I mean, you probably could, but we won't be betting on this game. That's irresponsible. So I've gone a slightly more responsible and did a different kind of bet. I've actually done a bet on the Switzerland-Portugal game. I've already done it, right? And if it wins, one of you are going to win £100. There's no phrase that pays tonight. As long as you're commenting in the live chat, you are entered into the draw should this bet win. And the bet is a bit of a tricky one. It's very stats-based, but just work with me here, right? £100 cash if this wins. We need Bruno Fernandes to do 44 or more passes. I know what you're thinking, right? 44 or more passes for Bruno Fernandes. And Bolo to have a shot on target, Bruno Fernandes to have a shot on target, and Switzerland to do 15 or more tackles in the game, and Fuller, the Nottingham Forest centre midfielder, the Switzerland centre midfielder, I should say, to get booked. £100 cash if that wins. Anyway, just a little bit of fun. I've done the bet for myself, so I stuck an extra £5 on, and someone will win £100 cash if that wins. If you've commented in the live chat, you've already entered. And Cambridge team, I'll just run through the starting 11. We're not going to discuss it. I don't know any of them, bar one player. They've got Manny on it in goal. They've also got Digby, Taylor, Smith, Dunk, Lancaster, Okadina, Rossi, Yana, Simper, and Nibs. Now, I was having a look at the Cambridge fans' replies to it to get a bit of an idea as to whether or not they're playing their first team, because obviously they're in a relegation battle. They're just outside the relegation zone. They had a game on Saturday against Forest Green, got beat, last minute penalty they conceded. Someone got sent off late on as well, got beat 2-1, and Forest Green were, and still are, I think, below them in the league. So they could probably do without this game, truth be told. But their fans were saying, oh, I don't think you need to play this many first-team players. I hope no one gets injured. So it looks like they're putting out a really strong team, certainly for a kickoff anyway. But it's one of them they could have done without. Hammer Motor, we just touched on it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm sitting around about a 5. I'm wary. Could be worse. obviously rather he didn't get injured, but he was dancing on the pitch at the end of the game, and that's a bit of a clue. And yes, it's live on YouTube. Of course, Fernandez, is he playing? Is Fernandez starting for Switzerland? I seen he came on. I caught their last game and he came on there. I don't know if Fernandez is actually starting in this one, but of course, Fernandez is involved this evening as well. We don't get any percentage for promoting this game. I seen the story as it goes. The club announced it. West Ham announced, "Oh, we're playing Cambridge in a friendly." Greg Taylor is his testimonial. He's a lifelong West Ham fan. So I just thought, I wonder if he'd come on for a little chat with me about the game, being he's a West Ham fan and all that. And yeah, I reached out to him. He's more than happy to come on. I was away for a few days. He said, "Don't worry about it. I'll do it when you come back." So I got back from holiday. He was away playing for the screen. He said, "I'll be back late Saturday." He said, "So could we do it Sunday morning?" I said, "Yeah, your time." So Sunday morning, we joined up. We had a chat, did the interview, so had another chat after. Genuinely a really, really nice person. But I just thought it was an interview that would have been interesting for people that are subscribers to the channel. And I quite enjoyed it, actually. And obviously people have left some nice comments and stuff. And I was hoping it would have got more views to help Greg out, just to try and help promote the game, if you like. But hopefully the people that did tune in enjoyed it. Really, really nice bloke. And I'm not just saying that. Kickoff is 7 o'clock, so we're just under 20 minutes away from kickoff. A lot of people getting a bit frustrated with Maxwell Cornet. Where are you? I saw you. Hughes, I'm going to click on you. I'm not calling you out, Hughes. There's other people as well that aren't too happy with Maxwell Cornet, with him obviously being absent tonight as well. You know, Justin here as well saying, you know, why we're paying him a wage. I understand. I have to be honest with you. Gonzo's going to hit the roof when he realizes Cornet's not in the squad. He's already pissed off with him. It's a strange one. It's a strange one. I've been quite defensive of Cornet, but even tonight, it's a bit of it's one of them. I can't really say anything. Is he this injured? Well, it's a bit strange. We've not heard anything if so. So why is he unavailable? Why is he not in the squad? It's a bit strange. It's a strange one. I think there's more to this. Lewis is saying the same. Is Cornet actually injured or something else going on? He's done this sort of thing in the past. I mean, I know when he was at Burnley, he wouldn't play unless he was 100%. But not to even be on the bench for what is a friendly, it's a glorified training session. You don't need to be 100% fit for tonight's game. You know, in a weird way, right? Do any of our boys owe anything to Greg? No, they don't, but it's a bit rude, I think. You know, it's a guy's testimonial. Even if you could only turn up and play 5 minutes or just turn up to the game itself, it's just show a little bit of respect. Like I said, they don't owe him anything. It's just, you know, on a professional standpoint, I just think it would have been a polite thing to do. So it's a bit of a strange one. Peter saying Cornet is not going to be here for very long. Mark saying, Moy said Cornet is back on the grass. I'll be honest with you, Mark. I've not seen much. I've tuned out a little bit from the West Ham stuff. I was away for a little while, and I tuned out from it as much as I could just to try and relax a bit. And then I was speaking to somebody yesterday, and he was saying to me, "You forget stuff, don't you, about West Ham? So you almost forget Moyes as a manager. You forget where we are on the table." And I thought he's quite right. Actually, I've got into the World Cup. I've been enjoying the World Cup, and you do sort of forget the West Ham side of stuff. And I was doing a video with Gonzo on Patreon earlier about player ratings for the season so far, blah, blah, blah. We did the Defenders version, and we came across Teal Kehrer on it. And then it sort of triggered. I thought, bloody hell, I forgot we've been playing him right back and how poor he's been at right back and stuff like that. So, Mark, really long-winded answer, I'm afraid, but I don't actually know. I don't know. Liam doesn't know why Ben Ram isn't starting. Oh, don't read anything into it, Liam. It's a friendly. He can't go full starting 11 from the start because we don't need to be 4-0 up at half-time or anything like that. And I think in the second half, to have 2 or 3 senior players in the team with a few youngsters as well I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing Ben Rama's not starting, arguably. So yeah, don't read anything into it. Nathan says, need to try new things. This lineup has been too predictable. Now, I get what you're saying here, Nathan. You're suggesting, it's the same formation. It's Bowen's playing in the same position. He's playing in the same position. I get what you're saying. It's slightly different to what Liam's saying, I think. Charlie's asking, is Souček not fit? Honestly, Charlie, I didn't even notice when I was reading out the team. I forgot about Souček. It was someone in the live chat said, where's Souček? So I was a bit, oh, okay. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. The thing is now, the last couple of weeks, boys have been back in training. Moyes hasn't had to field any questions about any of the players. Moyes hasn't had to answer questions about Cornet or Souček. Tonight he will. There'll be some journalists at that game. There'll be West Ham. John T will be there from Football London, I assume. You'd like to think he'll ask the question, Mr. Moyes, where is Thomas Souček? Where is Maxwell Cornet? Can we get an update, please? So Moyes is now going to have to answer those questions. So we'll hopefully get an update tomorrow when all the interviews come out tonight. When we wake up in the morning, there'll hopefully be some answers. Lewis says there's lots of small issues with the squad and they are starting to add up. Peter says thinks Moyes is on something stronger than grass, judging by his facial expressions. Nazi is requesting where Cornet is, but Nick has provided a bit of an answer. Nick has said that Extra employee has said that Cornet will be fit for Boxing Day. Wasn't training yesterday, so who really knows? I think that's why it's a bit more strange. In fact, he is at training that he's not in the squad tonight. But Snazzy thinks Cornet and Emerson are going to prove to be a waste of money. Hammerhead, it's on West Ham's YouTube channel. It's not live until 7, so you won't find it. I mean, you might find the video, but it's not playing anything until bang on 7, which I'll be honest with you guys, bit risky. I think if the game kicks off at 7, starting the live stream at 7, I think is asking for problems. They might get it fixed in 5-10 minutes, but that's 5-10 minutes into the game. Why they wouldn't go live 5-10 minutes before, I don't know. Even just have the camera on the pitch with the players, I say warming up, they'll be inside by then, but even just with the substitutes warming up, I'd imagine there may be a presentation to Greg before the game or a guard of honor or something for him. Just stream that bit just to make sure all your equipment's up and running and stuff like that. So asking for trouble, I think, going live at 7. Martin thinks Rice will have to play as centre-back if Aguerd and Zuma are unavailable. I don't think they will. I think we'll use Dawson, Kerr and Ogbonna first and foremost. And Moyes is showing that he would use Ben Johnson if he has to. I think what it might do, though, if Aguerd is injured, it might prevent any chance of Craig Dawson leaving the club. I don't know what the plan is in regards to Dawson and January transfer window, whether they were going to let him to go or they were planning on keeping him till the summer and let him go on a free. That might put that move on ice again, but also might have implications for, there's a lot of transfer rumours regarding Vladimir Suval leaving as well, isn't there? And again, it might impact that. And I know they play different positions, but it's the Tilo Kerr thing. You now need Kerr to cover centre-back, which means you're now technically a right-back short. We'll have to wait and see. I'm hoping the Aguerd one isn't too bad. I mean, it's only the 6th of December, so it's just under 3 weeks until we play Arsenal. Good chance he wouldn't have played in that game anyway, depending on how far Morocco progress in the World Cup. So we'll have to wait and see. Taz, do we think Moyes will change this tonight to try new things? No, I don't. Jake says Zuma's out for 6 months. I hope not. I don't know how. I don't know how long he's out for. He's back in training. I say he's in training. He's with the players and stuff like that. He's been photographed by the club, so he's not got any walking aids in that. So hopefully not too bad. Snazzy says, any tips for a West Ham fan who wants to start his own channel? Do it and be consistent, I guess. And when you get negative comments, when you get trolls, try to let them put you off. It's easy to let them put you off. Me, Gonzo, boys at West Ham Fan TV will be the first ones to hold their hands up and say that they get you down more than you could get one nice comment and one negative comment, and you'll focus on the negative one more. It's natural. Charlie won't. Charlie will just try and wind that person up. And it impacts more people in different ways. So it impacts Gonzo more than me. I think Gonzo will admit that too. But when you're starting off, don't let it put you off. I don't mind talking about it now, but certainly when we first started, I was a bit wary of doing it, just because of my lack of hearing. And, you know, one of the very first videos we done, you know, I used to get people that would be fake. I knew they were fake accounts because I'd never seen them before and I'd never seen them again after. But someone would leave a comment under a fake account about me being deaf, and it does get you. It does get to you. As I've grown up, naturally, I'm hell of a lot older than I was when we first started. I shrug it off now. It doesn't really bother me. But back then, I didn't like being hard of hearing, and it sort of, I guess, dented my confidence a little bit. So when people commented on it, it dents it a little bit further. Yeah, so there's your long answer. Be consistent and just tell them the negative ones to do one. Just get rid of them. Don't focus on them. And if you get one really nice comment, focus on that. Cling to it as much as you can. Lewis says the last time I played Cambridge was in 1993, ending in a 2-0 win in Division 1. James says Louise Owl coming in. Certainly picking up traction, isn't it? I remember doing a video about him about a month ago. I can't remember that South American journalist's name that broke the story. I followed him on Twitter, waiting for updates on the story. He hasn't really provided any. He sort of broke the story and just left it there. But certainly in the last few days has picked up a lot of traction. I think there is there's a discrepancy with the reporting. I've seen different reports. Some reports saying, oh, we don't know. It looks like we're going to sign him. We don't know how yet. I've seen other reports saying it's done now. It's a free contract. He's joining on a free in January. And I think, well, his contract runs until the 31st of January. So both can't be true. If he's coming on a pre-contract, he's technically not able to join West Ham until the 1st of February. So is he joining in January or is he joining at the end of his contract? Which is it? Because I don't think both can be true. I'd be surprised if we don't agree something with his club. You know, he seems, going by the very first reports, which are now looking like they're true, he seems determined to get his club something, and that he doesn't just leave them high and dry and walk out on a free. He wants the club to get something, whether it's it'll be very clause-based. It probably won't be an initial fee. It'll be if he plays X amount of games for West Ham to get Y amount of money, so on and so forth. I'd be surprised if we don't have that. Because why would you wait, for the sake of a transfer that relies on him being a success, why wouldn't you get it done so he can join you on the 1st of January rather than getting him on the 1st of February on a free? It doesn't cost you anything. You only have to pay them if he's a success. So what's the risk here? There isn't any. Get him in on the 1st of January, I say. I'd imagine he's for the under-21s. But again, like we've just spoke about with Aguerd and that, you just never know. He might end up getting fast-tracked into that first team. All right, let's rock and roll. Richie's asking, Charlie, can you show the subs? Charlie does have something. And when Charlie comes on, he uses Charlie's cleverer than me with the technology side of it. So he does something that allows him, the subscribers, to be on the screen. So Charlie will sort that for you. Don't you worry about that. And do you think the constant crisis with our defensive players are down to bad luck, or are they self-inflicted because of our defensive tactics? The thing is, Wayne, I think tonight arguably gives you a little bit of proof here because he's got injured for Morocco. He's not playing for Aguerd's not playing for West Ham tonight. He's playing for Morocco. And I know in Mark Noble's autobiography, it's there somewhere. That's pointing right at it. It's right there. In there, he was speaking about sort of injury-prone players at West Ham and about how Bilic made a big deal about Chadwell Heath being unsuitable. And Mark Noble's argument was, well, I've trained here all my life and I've never really got injured, so can't really be the training facilities. I think a large part of it, I mean, Kurt Zouma is riddled with injuries. Everybody knows Kurt Zouma is injury-prone. That's why that's why we got him. That's why we were able to get him. If Kurt Zouma didn't have that risk, Chelsea probably wouldn't have allowed him to leave the club. They would have kept him because he's good enough to play there when he's fully fit. The problem is he's never fully fit. That's why he's at West Ham. He's broken. So I think I don't think there's an obvious answer, Wayne. I think there's a few contributing factors. Signing injury-prone players is definitely, possibly, and probably the biggest one as well. Right, let's rock and roll. Liam, bless you. Thank you very much. I wasn't asking for money. I didn't even mention I needed a new hearing aid, to be fair, tonight. But thank you, Liam, for the £20 super chat. Happy Christmas. I'm wearing my Christmas jumper. I'm trying to get into the spirit. I'll be honest with you. The Christmas tree is up downstairs. The kilted Santa is out downstairs as well. And I'm wearing the Christmas jumper. I'm trying to get into the spirit. I'm trying to flog a few because, you know, we've got some left. There's not loads. We've got some left. So hopefully you can see them under the screen. So only get one if you want to. But that's why I'm wearing it. Just showcase it, how it looks like on somebody putting on the weight. There you go. And Joel, thank you. He said, really enjoyed the interview with Greg. Must be nice for him to have the club he supported all his life. Agreed to play his testimonial. Do you want to know a really weird story? Charlie, come on. Charlie, you come on. I'll tell you the story while you're here. Charlie, do you want to know a really weird story?
Yeah, but only if it's quite weird.
Well, it's more like, wow, wild. You know, it's not weird. People are into that's. So I did the interview with Greg, and in the interview with Greg, he was a mascot for West Ham in one of the games, and he said, "Oh, we played Aston Villa. Shaka Hislop was in goal. Blah blah blah." I couldn't remember what season it was or anything like that. So we've got a subscriber. We have got a subscriber, and I'm just checking what he said to me. Scott Van, who's a subscriber, comments on all our videos, messaged me saying, I couldn't believe this. He said, I saw your video with Greg. Said I was a mascot at the same game. And not only has he said that, he sent me a picture of the programme, and hopefully it focuses, but there's Scott, and above him is Greg.
That's wild. That's good.
How about that?
Mad. That is mad. That is actually quite mad. Fair play.
Scott sat there listening to Greg talking about being a mascot, thinking, hang on a minute, he's gone and got the programme out, a memento from all those years ago, and they were the same they were the mascots for the same West Ham game.
That's pretty good. That's decent. That's all right. I was you downplayed it, and I was a bit concerned, but that's ended up being quite good there, to be fair. That's wild.
I love wild stuff like that. I mean, how crazy is that?
That is actually kind of mad, to be fair. That's so weird. He must be sat there so confused.
I bet he's rang up his dad or whatever. Like, mate, remember when you paid for me? Yeah, you know the other little boy. Yeah, that's the guy whose testimonial is on Tuesday. His dad's point, what happened to you then, son? How's he gone on to play for Cambridge? And you're watching a West Ham YouTube channel. You're watching him on YouTube.
10 years he's been doing that. What have you done, mate? What have you done?
Anyway, you good?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm looking forward to it. I'm just excited West Ham's back, you know? As you were doing the build-up, and I was doing the teams, and people were like, Souček's missing, this person's missing. It's like, do you know what? I don't care. I'm just happy it's back. I'm just happy, you know, because, you know, I haven't been watching the World Cup or anything, so I need this. I need this, Gio. I mean, it's going to probably be a testimonial.
It's weird for me because I have been watching the World Cup, so then to switch back into West Ham mode for friendlies, it's a difficult thing to do almost. I need to get going because the game kicks off in about 30 seconds. But enjoy it, Mr. Walsh. Hopefully, wow, Lewis has gone in two-footed.
Wow,
that's a yellow card all day.
Lewis, that is uncalled for.
Roy Keane needed to see that comment after all that dancing yesterday. Roy Keane's loving it. We need a bit of that.
Ladies and gentlemen. We're back. You would have thought they'd be over. No, the watch-alongs are back.
I hope he means the streaming, not the game. I hope they haven't kicked off 2 minutes early. I hope I'm not being scammed here.
It's currently 24 seconds in, if that helps.
It's not even 7 o'clock. Right, okay, right. I'm going to get going. Cheers, Charlie.
See you in a bit. Bye. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you want more Gio, he'll be back to discuss the game at full at some stage. I don't know. We'll see. But apart from that, hello everyone. Welcome back. West Ham have started. West Ham are back. The World Cup, none of that. We're here for West Ham and West Ham only. Okay? Although we'll probably end up talking about that sort of stuff. I appreciate. But it is Cambridge versus West Ham. Testimonial for Greg Taylor. I know Gio was sort of semi-promoting it, but didn't speak about it properly. If you haven't seen that interview you did with Greg, I would highly suggest it, because he comes across as such a nice guy, and it's a good interview, to be fair, as well. But he does come across as a good guy. And they're coming through early here. Ooh, Cambridge. Cambridge taking a shot from just inside the area. It's going to be difficult for me to figure out who's who on their team, because obviously it's a bit like Europa League and Europa Conference, where I don't really know the teams too well. So I don't know what player it was. It was a nice idea to try and take a shot from range. Takes a little deflection down. Craig Dawson heads it down. Ben Johnson caught out a little bit and then hit, looking for that bottom corner, but well wide of Fabianski's post. But if you are looking for the teams there, I'll run along the bottom of the screen. I'll run through them now. Starting for Cambridge United is Mannion, Okedina, Ibsen Rossi, Taylor, the centre-back West Ham fan testimonial day, and probably Dunk. Simper and Digby in midfield, Lancaster, Nibs, Yane, and Smith. I think that is the correct order of players on the pitch. I'm not entirely certain. I was sort of assuming from previous lineups and from what positions they're listed as being playing. So I've taken a guess there when typing that one up. But West Ham line up with Fabianski in goal, Ben Johnson at right back, Dawson and Ogbonna at centre back with Cresswell on the left, who is captain tonight. We have Flynn, Downs and Connor Coventry in a double pivot in midfield with Fornals, Lanzini and Bowen in behind Michael Antonio. If you're looking for the bench for West Ham in positional order is Randolph, Hedgie, Xufal, Emerson, Greenidge, Forbes, Benrahma, Ekwa, Sawyer, Forson, Potts, Urfi, Skamaka, and Liang as Cambridge's bench, just in case. Holden, Williams, Jones, Job, Brophy, Tracy, Warman, Ironside, what a name, McConnell, Hoddle, and Scales. So those are the lineups. We'll see how it ends up playing out. I suspect we'll see a lot of changes. In the match. We'll see how that ends up playing up. Michael Antonio does well to hold off the defender. Tries to play a big crossfield ball to Bowen. Nowhere near him, if we're being honest about it. Michael Antonio being pushed by Greg Taylor. One of the things I found interesting about that Gio asked Greg in that interview was whether he would prefer to mark Skamaka or Antonio, given the fact he's probably going to have to at some point during the game, right? You're probably going to see both. And he did say he would much rather mark at Skamaka because Antonio's just big, he's fast, he's strong, he's got sort of everything. And I imagine from a centre-back perspective, that kind of movement is just the worst thing in the world. The worst thing in the world. I love it. I love a bit. I love lower league grounds. All this Premier League niceties. No. I love a ground like this. Just proper football. We're talking about. Well, you know. Listen, I don't think there's anything we can read too much into it, to be fair. That's a great question, Lewis. They've got to be, right? Cresswell trying to stop Cambridge from getting forward there. Someone must have, right? I feel like you could even just do it for the bants. Like you get sent off in your last, not like Zidane style, but get sent off in your last game kind of thing. I don't know though. I've got no clue, to be honest. Cresswell lofting it forward, looking for Michael Antonio, chests it down. Although it is just a testimonial and obviously it's a friendly and we've sort of seen how the team are playing this season, I will find it interesting to see certain people. I think Flynn Downs and Connor Coventry both have sort of points to prove to some extent. Ogbonna and Dawson, if Aguerd's injury is bad, then they have a place to grab, especially if Zuma's out as well. You know, it'd be interesting to see how these sort of players step up because this is kind of a second pre-season in some way, and it does give those players the opportunity. I mean, Antonio's not starting at the moment. It gives him an opportunity. Fornals, Lanzini, they're not starting at the moment. It gives them an opportunity. So you suspect, even though it's a testimonial, there are some things to play for from our perspective. I don't know their team well enough to say. What I would say is looking at previous lineups, it looked pretty strong. And from the response I saw when I clicked on the Cambridge graphic that they put up to announce the team as I was doing the teams in the back end earlier. I did think, oh, that's a nice pass from Michael Antonio out to Fornals. It's a bit wide, but he tries to pull it back. He does a second time. Ooh, fires it across. No one can quite get there. Ben Johnson at the far post picks it up. Can't quite do that. It's well defended by the Cambridge winger Jana. But it looks strong from their reaction. A lot of people underneath it were talking about why is the team so strong. They felt like they didn't need to put such a strong team out for this game. And so it looks like it's a relatively strong Cambridge team. A lot of great Premier League defenders said Henry was impossible to mark for that reason. Too exposed and strong. Yeah, I can. It's like it's why I've always said he'd make an amazing super sub. That idea of like last second being able to come on and just create havoc and do big things with it. It would be very annoying to mark against. Very, very annoying. I know, stressing it. I forgot I put that poll up. What does the poll say? Let's have a look. I will end the poll there. The poll says, the poll after 25 minutes is 57% of people go, yeah, that's right. 28% of people are very happy with the lineup. 8% are saying it's poor and 6% are fuming. I completely forgot to put that up, to be honest with you, Sharky, until that exact moment. And he's back. He's back out. I don't know where the shirt is. So he's just going to have to be like this for now. I don't know where it is. We'll look into it. A player like Lanzini should be able to run a game like this. We just don't see it enough. Yeah. I agree. I mean, dangerous ball in from Cambridge, cleared away from Aaron Cresswell, a bit shakily, but it was a nice ball in from the left-hand side, crossed in. Yane on the left, causing problems in the early stages of the game. We forced Cambridge all the way back, but you would suspect he could. I mean, he seems to be playing in this sort of centre role. It seems to be a 4-2-3-1. That was one of the other interesting things, is whether it was going to be a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1 with Lanzini. Downs and Coventry, you could have made an argument for a 4-3-3, but Lanzini does seem to be a little bit further forward and a lot more central than that. Coventry is the one who's sitting deeper out between him and Flynn Downs. Having said that, Lanzini's come incredibly deep here to receive the ball, but you would imagine this is, like you say, the sort of game where he could run it successfully, like, you know, especially because, you know, he is one to drop deep into those areas and try and dictate the play. Very direct pass from Ogbonna. Sort of came a bit further forward and then just tried a big direct ball into the feet of Antonio. Doesn't quite work out for us. That's the other thing, is whether we're going to have any sort of different tactics today. I don't know. It's just interesting. This is going to be a feeling out period. I don't know how many of these friendlies are actually going to be shown. I've got no clue right now. I didn't even know this one was being shown until yesterday, and I didn't know for certain until today. So Bowen does well. Ball in, poor though. It was a nice run down the right hand side, but he just takes it a little bit far, and then with his weak foot has to just sort of pump it in, and it's nowhere close to anyone. But with these sort of friendlies, it's be interested to see again if there's going to be any changes. I mean, Moyes under pressure. I suspect there won't be. I suspect it will be the same thing, but still. Good to see you, Stu. How are you, my friend? Hope you're well. I missed extra time last week. I've just realised it's flipping Tuesday and I didn't see. I'm stressed. How are you, Stu? I hope you're well. You haven't subscribed to Disabled Team. Stu does big bits. Stu, Lee, both doing amazing stuff. Got good shows with other people as well. Highly recommend it. But I hope you're well, bro. How are you? It does look nice, doesn't it? They've proper put some effort into that, you know. They've proper put some effort into that. It's a good pitch. It's a good pitch. Good to see you, Chuck. How are you? I'm stirring my head in. I have Portugal Swiss on the TV, the West Ham game on my laptop. I'm listening to you on my desktop. I try and listen. I would recommend bunning off my section at least. let's just get that, you know. Let's just get that working, because I feel like that's a lot. That's a lot going on there, Chuck. We haven't won a game since the 3rd of November. If we lose this, then Moyes out. I mean, you know. It's difficult because me and Ray, by the way, good to see you. Me and Ray do the Patreon show, 2 Spanners, 1 Hammer on the Hammer Chat. Patreon.com/Hammer Chat. Link in the description below. Great Christmas present, maybe. I don't know. You could get like a year's subscription. I don't know. You can figure it out. But yeah, figuring out West Ham stuff to say is difficult at the moment because we are just sort of in stasis. So I'm glad something's happening at this point. Look like a Dev Star. Do you know what it is? You're not wrong. Do you know what? Oh, Bowen plays it across, looking for 4 It's cleared away. All of a sudden, it was sort of a little bit of an opening. It was a bit fractured, the play. It couldn't really find anything super solid. But all of a sudden, Bowen on the right picked up the ball, tried to just play it across the box, and There were people open, but you just couldn't quite find it. It's the lack of contrast between here and here. This is the sort of something I've sort of said about that I need to maybe try and solve, although God knows how. What I could do, theoretically, I could do this. Maybe make it more obvious. Just making it brighter, aren't I? No, I don't. Do you know what? I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it. I don't know what buttons I'm pressing. I don't know what buttons I'm pressing. I'm gonna leave it. Cresswell crosses the ball in. That's not bad. Cross just over the top of Antonio. Headed away by Greg Taylor. Fornals tries to play it in. Oh, it's a nice ball. Lanzini does well. Plays it across to Jarrod Bowen, who chests it down. Back to Flynn Downs. West Ham in a good position now. Just sat outside the Cambridge box, playing it around, looking for that final just ball, that little opportunity. Flynn Downs does a nice ball on the inside. Nice 1-2 with Manuel Lanzini. He gets a bit further forward. There was a moment there where he looked like he could have shot, but Bowen decides to almost take it. Lanzini, Antonio, they're lining up, waiting, and it's just well defended, and it's going to be a free kick to Cambridge. It was well defended in the end. I mean, they kept just passing it around West Ham. There was a 3 or 4 little moments of opportunities where it could have happened. Looking at the Bowen cross again, it's not bad. There were a couple of opportunities there. It was a nice 1-2 with Flynn Downs with Manuel Lanzini. It looked like it opened up, and he could have maybe taken a shot. He just decides to play a little bit calmer, finds Bowen again. He looks like he could have taken a shot. Instead, he lays it out to Lanzini, who's a nice pass to Antonio. Awkward touch, and it's well defended, to be fair. It's well defended, and he ends up taking out the Cambridge player for a free kick. Could have been closer, though. Could have happened. Could have happened. Bowen needs to score a goal or 2 to get back in. Yeah, big time. It's one of those things where it's difficult to get in and out of form, right? But a lot of the time it is just if you're an attacking player, if you get a goal, that can change your fortunes completely. You know, I'm good. I'm glad, mate. I'm glad. Yes, although he seems to have got injured today, so we'll see what happens. But big time. I mean, yeah, I've been very excited for him since we signed him, and every time I've seen him play since, he seems to have been really, really good. It's just a shame he's got injured today, but then again, I think we knew he had injury problems before we signed him. I'm not sure about that. I'll have to go back and look, but it is what it is. Close from Cambridge while I sneeze. A couple of opportunities. Oh, nice hook from back. Nice little back heel hook thing there from the Cambridge player. A couple of opportunities opened up for them there. Didn't quite work out. Are we seeing our first sub? I'm not sure. There seems to be some hand motions there that look like sub. I'm not sure. Nick by Day, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. There was a couple of games earlier on where he looked okay in the season. It seemed to be finding his form, but again, it dropped back out again. I don't know. Man, there's 7,000 watching on the stream now. Oh, just seen Cams in the chat. Shout out Cams, by the way. He's not in here. He's watching on the official stream, which is totally fair enough. But shout out Cams. Cams, if you see this, big up, my bro. I hope you well. Footballers wearing gloves should get a fine. I don't know, Peter. I'm fine with it. But I do have very thick gloves that make me sweat, so I'm not sure about that. But I'm fine with it, personally. Yeah, it's kind of wild, right? Although they're not that good anymore. Like, Spain are sort of... They've got a lot of decent players, and they're sort of in a bit of a transition, but if you look at their team compared to what it was, I'm not entirely shocked that they're out. I mean, going out to Morocco is a different kettle of fish completely, but, you know, it is what it is. Who would you like to see have a great game tonight? That's a great question. Everyone in the chat, who would you like to see? If you could pick one player to have an absolutely barnstorming performance tonight, could be from the starting 11, can be from the subs bench if you want as well. I'll put the subs bench up again just in case you haven't seen it. Who would you pick to have a barnstorming game tonight? I would say probably... Antonio gets taken down. I would say probably Jarrod Bowen. Antonio taken down on the power through there. We are going to see our first sub. First substitute, and it is Aaron Cresswell coming off for Emerson. Was Cresswell injured? Captain's armband goes to Ogbonna in the meantime. Yeah, Gio's just messaged me saying Cresswell's gone down tunnel. Probably quite a bad sign. Lanzini, yeah, Lanzini's a good shout. Bowen, I think Bowen want Lanzini to have a belt. I think Bowen for me is the guy. Like in terms of people who are starting, like Skamaka would be another one, but like I think a good game for Bowen could really help us in a couple of different ways. I could see Lanzini as well. Yeah, Gio's saying he's just walked off. He's gone down the tunnel, so I suspect he's injured. Stress. Why is Skamaka on the bench? I don't know. I mean, we'll probably see him for 45, you would suspect, or we'll see him for a chunk of the game. Jana does well there, to be fair. Cambridge keep holding the ball in the centre of the park. I feel like you could. I mean, we'll probably see him a significant amount of him today. It's very, yeah, especially from Moyes. Usually it's the opposite way. About 15 minutes left, we get maybe one max. Yeah, he's injured. Gio says Gio said he walked down the tunnel, and he'd come off before the sub. And I'd seen in the build up to before the goal kick from Fabianski, one of our assistant coaches was waving massively at someone to come back. And then when Fabianski had the goal kick, he sort of did this sort of gesture towards the bench, which I assumed was he's saying, "Are we gonna have an injury or anything like that?" But yeah, he did. Yeah, he got injured. As Stu says here, he picked up an injury. I'm not sure. I think it was. I don't know. He walked off. He walked off the pitch, but he did come back on to celebrate with the team when they beat Spain. But we'll see what happens. Jared Bowen gets. Good tackle from Dunk, to be fair. Takes him out. Good tackle, and Jared Bowen doesn't waste time on the floor. Gets straight back up. Dunk is a nice... It was a nice idea for a ball. Can't quite cut it out. Craig Dawson tries to, but West Ham managed to do it the second time I ask him. Lee, my friend, good to see you. I hope you're well. How are you, Lee? I hope you're good. Lee, another awesome person you should definitely subscribe to. And does great work on the disabled team as well. No, not yet. I suspect I mean, look, they're in the quarters, right? So we'll find out if he starts in the quarterfinals or not to some extent. Oh, that's a nice pass. Lanzini looking for Fornals. Can't quite find him. Very, very close there. Lanzini picks up again. Oh, that's a nice ball across, to be fair. From an awkward situation, Lanzini manages to hook the ball back across with the outside of his right boot. Sort of just fumbles out for nothing, but it was close. It was close. Yeah, we don't know how bad yet. I mean, he came off. You wouldn't take off your first choice centre back in a round of 16 tie where it's still even against Spain with a chance to go to a quarter final if you didn't have to. So my gut says it's probably not a precautionary thing. It's probably a he is injured kind of type thing, but I don't know how long for. We'll see. We'll find out in the next week, I guess, and before the quarterfinals and by the quarterfinals. Because if he plays in the quarterfinals, then we can just assume it's a knock. But get a couple more, mate. Do you know what I mean? We've got a couple more friendlies. Maybe an injury a game. Be pretty fun. Do you know what I mean? We've lost 2 people today for injury already. So you've lost flipping Aguerd from Morocco and Cresswell from today. So Flynn Downs trying to get a forward. He's going to win a free kick. We'll take that. Just a little pull from Jenna, who's playing out on the left-hand side for Cambridge today. He's their left winger. He's looked pretty lively in the first opening stage of the game, to be fair. I'm going to see a free kick from practically on the left-hand side touchline. Bowen standing over it, as is Lanzini. Bowen decides to take it. It goes... To say it doesn't beat the first man is a stretch. It practically lands at the first man's feet. It was an awful free kick. But, you know, pre-season and all that. Ish. Mid-season friendly. Whatever you want to call it. But yeah, Janet, I thought looked alright for Cambridge today. There's a couple of players who I've never heard of for Cambridge, and by a couple, I mean the vast majority of them. But he's looked all right. I've never heard of him before, but he's looked pretty good. Played out wide to Emerson on the left-hand side. Plays it in towards Flynn Downs. Cambridge obviously having a bit of a rough season as well. They're in a relegation battle of their own. And this is one of those opportunities again where it's all big ball from Lanzini looking for Antonio. Can't quite find it. Fornals to the far side, hits it. Not bad. Not bad. It was a big hoof up the pitch towards Antonio, who can't quite make anything of it. But it's that thing where running in behind, causing a problem. It forces the defenders to sort of scramble it away. Fornals arriving in the D, picks it up first time, strikes it just wide. Not a bad opportunity. Not a bad opportunity. Not a great one. Not a great finish in the end, but not a bad opportunity. And that's again one of those situations why Greg would have said he would much rather not have to mark Mikel Antonio. That long ball and just instantly in round the back, and he's just being an absolute nuisance. And it's not like you can bully him. It's not like a small nippy striker who's got no pace, got no power to him. He's a big strong guy as well at the same time. Absolute pain in the arse. But again, like I was saying, I think it's a situation with them as well, given they are in a relegation battle where you could still, a result here could still do big things for you. Could still do very big things for you. Short throw from Cambridge goes poorly. Lanzini comes away with it. That is someone you can bully. Lanzini not really got the pace to get away from a dunk there. The left back for Cambridge today does just get pulled back. Thankfully, it goes out for a corner to West Ham. I think it's a corner. It's either a corner or a free kick. I'm not sure which. It's a corner. Emerson's going to take it from the right-hand side. Lanzini and Fornals standing on the outside of the box. You've got Dawson in the centre. Whipped in from Emerson. That's not bad. It's not bad. A bit too close to the front post. And it's cleared away relatively easily in the end. West Ham recycled the ball through Connor Coventry at centre back. Oh, big ball for Jarrod Bowen forward. Jarrod Bowen hits it. Not bad. It was a big ball forward again. It's just going very direct, long balls forward. Huge ball for Jarrod Bowen, who's in round the back, completely onside. Control is nice, to be fair. It's decent control. It's not quite Berbatov, but it's pretty flipping good. It rolls onto his weak foot and he has to strike it across, and it's wide of both Mannion and the goal. Groin. Connor said it up here or something. If it's his groin, it's 6 weeks. Yeah. I mean, again, we'll see what happens. It won't be long till we find out. We'll probably find out in the next couple of days what the prognosis is regardless, but then we also have the quarterfinals, and if he's at all fit, he'll be playing in that, given how well he's played in the World Cup and given that he's a very good defender in general. I mean, he'd play in that game. So we'll end up seeing how that works out in the next couple of days. Hope is it's not that bad. Like I said, he walked off and he came on and celebrated with them when they won. So, you know, the hope and the dream is that it's not that deep, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Mostly, but what can you do? What can you do? It's not the most thrilling game you've ever seen in your life. But then again, it is a testimonial. I'm not expecting two teams to come absolutely flying out of the gates at each other and fighting for absolutely everything in a mid-season friendly testimonial type thing, you know. But it's been played at a slightly faster pace than I was expecting, to be fair. Cambridge look up for it. They look lively. When we get the ball and there is a bit of a heavy touch, you see them sort of packing in quite fast on the press. We aren't doing that. We are not doing that. But then again, we haven't been doing that all season, so that's not a shock. But that's a nice pass from Fornals into the path of into the path of Lanzini. Fornals to Fornals. I'm so stupid sometimes. Coventry out wide. We're now recycling possession. The horseshoe begins. We went up the left-hand side. That didn't work. We've backed down and gone to the right-hand side. All crossed in. Not a bad cross, but nowhere close to it. Rossi gets it away. Nodded forward. That's nice. It's nicely done from Cambridge. Taken down. That's going to be a free kick in the centre circle. Nicely done from Cambridge, though. Smith is the one that gets fouled. Just like a quick pass, and Smith probably could have got slightly away from it quicker, but Connor Coventry just takes some downballs now. I would assume so. But I'll be honest with you, I've got no clue. I've got no clue. Yeah, there's a reason I haven't asked. I mean, look, listen. If you haven't already, make sure to like the video. Subscribe if you're new around here, because we're plenty of stuff coming up. We'll be covering as much of the preseasons as much as the mid-season friendlies, sorry, as we can. On top of that, we'll be you know, doing all the usual stuff, talking about the World Cup, talking about West Ham stuff whenever there is news. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, and yeah, hit that like button. We'll see what happens. Like you say, 300 is a massive stretch, but hey, we'll just see where we can get to. It's fun times today, you know. It's fun times. We'll just see what happens. I also forgot to change the name of the stream to watch along until that exact second, which probably would help, China. Which probably would help. That's a good point. I completely forgot. I completely forgot he was in Qatar. I completely forgot that was a thing that was going on. So maybe he isn't here. Maybe he isn't here. I mean, you would suspect he would be, right? But he might not be able to. I don't know. I don't know. That's another great question, Peter. You don't count. Czech's thing wasn't woolly, was it? I'm trying to think now. Was there ever a player wearing a woolly hat? Seen players wearing caps, obviously. Seen a lot of goalkeepers wearing caps. For some reason, the first one that comes into my mind was Chris Kirkland, of all people. Don't know why. But seeing people wearing caps, is there ever a player wearing a woolly hat? That's a great shout. That's a great shout. That's something I need to look into, Pierre. I'm not sure. You'd imagine so, but would it be legal? I don't know if you'd be allowed to. I don't know. Big ball for Antonio again. Big hoof over the top, and Antonio gets there. Oh, he keeps it in play well, but no, he's kept his goal kick. He didn't manage to keep it in play. Again, another big old hoof up the pitch. Another big old hoof up the pitch, and then it's the times that are giving Cambridge any sort of problems, and the times where we look anything is when we are going very direct. Let's say when we calm it down or we pass it around, we sort of lack the invention that you would suspect from us under David Moyes in the way that has been of late, right? It's not that incredible, but the big balls up the pitch are causing a little bit. That's a poor pass from Ogbonna, and this is a good opportunity. Smith takes it from range. It was a speculative effort, let's say, from about. Oh, apparently it's going to be a corner. It was a speculative effort, about 20-25 yards away from goal, something like that. It was a poor pass across the pitch from Ogbonna. I don't know where the hell he was trying to pass it to, or who's trying to pass it to, with his weak foot trying to just for Dawson, maybe. For Dawson? For Coventry? I honestly can't figure out who he's trying to play the ball to. It lands perfectly into the feet of Smith, who was on rushing, who gets forward and it just drives it from range. Apparently it deflected and it's gone out for a corner. It's a corner to Cambridge on the right-hand side. Oh, that's a good ball in. Oh, that's close. Oh, it's in. Cambridge have scored. It was a good corner. I'll be honest with you, right? We have been terrible at corners for a long time this season. And I looked at that ball. I was thinking, oh, I'll be interested to see like how the ball's going to be played in here. And they just absolutely whipped that one in to a really nice area. And that's something we just don't do. And something I'm always confused by. Why have we stopped just putting it into the mixer like that? I will never know. But it was a good ball in. The header sort of a bit awkward, bouncing the defender pulling away from the Cambridge player pulling away, sorry, from Craig Dawson. It sort of just lands to the feet of number 16, who just turns and hits it past Fabianski, who can't stop it. It's 1-0 Cambridge. Fair play. I'm not sure who the number 16 is. I hope they say. It was Ibsen Rossi, so it was centre-back. The centre-back pairing of Greg Taylor tonight, Ibsen Rossi. And it's a nice finish from him, a really nice finish. It's 1-0 Cambridge. We'll be honest with you, we've been the better team, not by leaps and bounds. It's not been a Premier League team versus a league. I think Cambridge League One team. It's not been anything like that. Oh, that's a nice header down to Mikel Antonio. Back to Downs. Bowen's there, and it's 1-1. It's 1-1 just as fast as it happened 1-0. And that's a really nice finish from Jared Bowen. Just powers it in, absolutely hammers it at home with his weak foot just outside the area. Will be taking that. Thank you very much. That was a really nice finish from Jared Bowen. Literally straight up the other end. First opportunity we get after they score and it's in. It's played in towards Flynn Downs, who nods it down to Mick Antonio. It's a nice opportunity that it lands back at the feet of Downs, who can't quite find the space. It's laid off to Jarrod Bowen, and that is a really, really nice finish. Pablo Fornals the initial ball into Downs. Downs' header to Antonio was nice. Flynn Downs getting involved in the build-up. I think actually it was a tackle that ends up at the feet of Jarrod Bowen, who just first time just absolutely pile drives it in. That's a really, really nice finish. Really nice finish. Yeah, there you go, Lewis. You weren't wrong. You weren't wrong. Aguerd, Paqueta, Rice. Souček is not in the squad. We don't know why. Cornet is not in the squad. Oh, it's another good opportunity for Cambridge trying to play their way in. Cornet doesn't quite work out. Cornet is also not in the squad. He's been injured all season, but he should be fit by now, so God knows what's going on with him. Mikel Antonio, that's a really nice run down the left-hand side. Ipsy Rossi does well. Played cross was poor, but it wasn't. West Ham collect the ball again. It's commentary, maybe shaping for a shot. Lays it short to Flynn Downs. We're now on the edge of the area. All of a sudden, this game has picked up 3 or 4 levels. Fornals can't quite get the turn. Like I say, it's not been that deep a game. Like we've probably been the better team. We've had more chances. We've had the better chances, but Cambridge have been just speculative shots on range. But that was really nice taken from corner from them. It worked out really well, and then it just apparently we just stepped up again the second that happened. I don't know, but it was a really if you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend going and checking out Jarrod Bowen's finish for that. Just a nice, powerful shot from the edge of the area. Something we haven't seen from him at all. If anything, just to remember that Jarrod Bowen is apparently a good footballer sometimes. Who knows? It's probably not going to happen. If he was going to be gone, he'd be gone by now. Oh, that's a good hit from Cambridge. I'm not sure what the player was, but it bounces out to the left-hand side. And maybe Jana again. It was initial ball in from Cambridge. Just hoofed into the box. Nodded down, bounces. And then I think it is Jana who arrives late and strikes it first time well, but it's an easy collect from an easy collect in the end from Fabianski. Eastside, chill out, just chill out, bruv. Nice ball out wide to Jarrod Bowen. Game's picked up a little bit here. Downs, short to Johnson, into Coventry. Lanzini comes deep. Looking for Jarrod Bowen. Oh, it's a nice flick to Jarrod Bowen. He turns and hits it. Can't quite get a good enough connection on it. It ends up in the hands of the goalkeeper quite comfortably. But a nice little flick there from Manuel Lanzini. They had some attacks earlier on in the game. To be fair. I think the first shot was theirs, I believe. I'd have to go back and double check that though. Probably. I don't know why it is. It's very weird why we only seem to step up a gear after that, though, isn't it? That's to suggest Greg isn't prime Messi already. I can't say I've never seen Greg play, but I can't not say he isn't. You know? Lanzini looking for Antonio. That's an unbelievably heavy touch. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was fizzed into him, but that was a heavy touch. Ogbono gets caught unbelievably high forward, and a ball over the top from Cambridge creates a nice opportunity. Ogbono has managed to get back. Emerson did okay to defend it in the end. It wasn't amazing. Cadena. Bloody hell. I thought Fabianski might have taken a touch there as it goes out for a corner, but no, it's going to be a goal kick. Big ball up forward. Ogbono got caught up dreadfully far forward, like insanely far forward. I can't remember what goal it was. There was a goal in pre-season, I think it was. Trying to remember, I think it was in pre-season, where we were pressing a bit and then everyone was so unbelievably far forward because everyone was gunning for the same ball. We had like 5 players going for it and then they just counter-attacked and scored it. It was very reminiscent of that. Ogbono was literally in their half trying to tackle beyond the centre circle, it felt like, and they played the ball straight into the space that he had vacated, but Emerson did well in the end. Again, looking for that long direct ball for Jared Bowen. Can't quite make it work. My stomach is going wild. I apologise. Who are they facing? Stu? I genuinely don't know. Oh, no, wait. No, Chuck said it. Chuck, did you say it? I feel like Chuck said it. Hang on. Corner comes in. All hits first man. There's a couple of arms going up there, claiming maybe a handball. Nothing there from the ref. And I would hope that VAR isn't in going. Switzerland. There we go. Thank you. I found it. Thank you. I found it. Switzerland. I found it. Corner comes in. Yeah, it looked like it probably did hit the Cambridge player's hand. Not that deep, but it did look like it did it. Corner commentary pinging it for looking for Mikel Antonio. Get a bit wide for him, but it would have been nice if we could get a bit more central or some space for him, but he picks up the ball. I tell you what, I don't know who that defender is. I think it might be their right back. I'm not sure who it is, but whoever it is has done really well against Mikel Antonio today. When other players have got involved, it's become a bit more difficult, but Mikel Antonio is just not being able to do anything against him today. He's doing really well. I mean, I don't think that's true, but I would say we're in a bit of dire straits injury wise right now. But I would probably disagree with you on that one, Peter. But I can fully appreciate what you're saying. Like, Jesus Christ, like it would be nice if we weren't so riddled with injuries at all times. That's one of the things I was looking forward to this break. Get some people back, get them into the squad, and then ooh, corner comes in from West Ham. Fornals near post, can't quite make it work. Picks it up a second time, Pablo Fornals. We're going to get another corner. That one wasn't bad. Again, I don't understand why we are obsessed with this front corner, this front post stuff. We are obsessed with it. Doesn't quite work out. We'll see if the second one can. Pablo Fornals comes across to take it again from the left-hand side. Or he puts it into the far post that time. He's looking for Ogbonna, but goalkeeper comes out and claims it well. Dreading Arsenal game. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's probably going to go very poorly for us, but I'm just looking forward to the Premier League being back. I can't lie to you, but it is probably going to go very poor for us. I can't lie. That is true. That much is true. Okadina on the right-hand side. That's who the right back is called. They were looking to try and get forward. This is Digby Chicken Caesar. Then number 4. That's a really nice ball out wide to Jana, who hits it. Oh, Fabianski collects it. Kenny's looking all right, Jana, today. I can't lie. He's looking decent. That's a really nice ball. I'm not sure who the other. I can't remember the name of the other DM that they have. I think his name's Simper. But a really nice ball out to Jana, who takes it a little bit early. It's struck strongly enough, but it's straight at Fabianski. It's a very easy save. I mean, that's going to be the issue. Coming off the back of it is how well he can set up a defensive team with so many injuries. I mean, we've got Dawson and Ogbonna, which again, a couple of years ago probably would have been our first choice centre-back pairing. So it's not the end of the world. It's not like everything is over. Oh, Fornals. It was a nice idea to try and find Antonio, but it's well defended from him. Rossi. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. I mean, we have Dawson and Ogbonna there, but it's certainly not a great moment. It's an unreal question. Lewis. Oof. Antonio trying to just dribble past Rossi, who stops him as well. Again, Antonio looks dangerous. When we get the ball, when we get those direct long balls over the top, Antonio causes a lot of problems. But when he's just running directly at people today, it's not really done anything, you know? Lanzini 1-2s with Fornals just outside the box. Finds Johnson on the right-hand side, looking to try and cross it in. Not great. Straight out from Dunk. Played forward. It's a great question, Lewis. I would say, see, controversially, I eat margaritas almost all of the time. It's very rare that it's not a margarita I order. So that's maybe controversial, but I'm going to put margarita as a topping, even though, you know, that's your baseline thing. I would argue it's not even a topping, but I'm going to go out there. And but with the chain, I'd maybe argue Pizza Express. I'd maybe argue a Pizza Express currently. I might change my mind with that. But currently, I'd maybe say that 4-0 into the path of Lanzini. That's another nice ball in San Antonio. He just can't do anything. And it's Greg Taylor does really well against him there. And then they go forward. It was a nice idea from Cambridge. They couldn't just quite find the right-hand side. They could find whoever it was approaching down that right-hand side. It would have been a really nice opportunity. It was really well done from Taylor. And Antonio was cutting a frustrated figure. He was trying to sort of pull back on him there. And Taylor just turns... As he tries to turn, he doesn't even get anywhere close to the ball, and Taylor just walks away with it. It's really nice defending. You can see Antonio's frustrated. Like I say, whenever he's not being that great today, when the balls come over the top, when he's running into space, he causes problems. But when he's actually had the ball at his feet, he's been... Every single defender feels like they've had the better of him. Maybe that's why. This is one of the best squads we've ever had, listed with international talent, but we're incapable. We're playing ineffective tactics, and 3/4 of the team are out of form. I don't think it's that hard to fix. I would agree with you, Lewis. I would probably agree with you, yeah. Yeah, in fact, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'd agree with you. It is what it is. Or you could just break it down as Sofian says, which again, I don't agree. I don't disagree with you, Sofian, mate. I don't disagree. Hope you're well, by the way. I don't disagree with you. Can see us continuing to struggle unless we start getting back to scoring from corners. Yeah. I mean, we've dropped off so massively. Lanzini does well there. I was looking for Ben Johnson. It was a nice idea. Can't quite get there. Bowen does well-ish. West Ham do regain possession, looking to try and attack down the right-hand side. Jarrod Bowen maybe looking for a cross, can't find it. Finds Connor Coventry into the path of Flynn Downs, who's just first-time touch, who's very attacking. Ooh, who's shaped for a shot and then finds Fornals. Oh, Fornals does really well there. Really nice touch from Fornals. Oh, Lanzini takes a shot, bounces awkwardly, but Mannion collects it. Corners are a big thing for us, a very big thing for us. And the fact we've dropped off so significantly over the past 18 months or whatever it's been has been a massive detriment to us. Massive, massive detriment. We just don't take them like we used to. I mean, like, there's been a lot made. For example, I spoke to Jack about this on Hamalytics. Jack Elderton from Analytics United. We do, myself, him and Cal Goodall, also from Analytics United, do a show on the Patreon, on the Hammers Chat Patreon. Patreon.com/Hammers called Hamalytics. And we've spoken about it quite a bit. And there's, like, the idea of like Dawson not being in a team who's so super effective from corners and things like that. There's a lot of aspects to it, but I feel like just the places we put them in, I feel like we're obsessed with this near post thing. Emerson pulls it across goal, and it's an own goal. It's an own goal from Simper. It's 2-1 West Ham. It's 2-1 West Ham. It was a good ball across the box. There was no one there to really make the most of it. It was a decent ball across from the left-hand side. We played it out wide to who's that? It's Pablo Fornals, puts it in nicely to Lanzini. Emerson approaches, he pulls it back into a really nice position. There isn't a single West Ham player even close to make the most of it, to be honest with you. But Simper, who's in a really nice position to defend it, it's a really nice move from West Ham. Just he sort of comes to him before he can even really expect it or think about it, and he stumbles a little bit and ends up just passing it into a net. Cambridge 1, West Ham United 2. Own goal from Simper. He's been playing decently, to be fair to him. Some really nice balls, but it is 2-1. Fire and own goal. He went down the tunnel injured, Jack. I'm not sure what happened. I didn't notice it happen on screen. I don't know if it was... I don't know. That was a great replay there. I don't know if you're watching the stream. It was just a random replay of the goalkeeper just shaking around. Don't know what was going on there. Misclick. It's not a ball in, but headed away. There is halftime. Halftime, it ends here. Cambridge United 1, West Ham United 2. Yeah, with Cresswell, I'm not sure exactly what happened. I didn't notice it on stream. If he got injured, if something happened, I didn't notice it. But he did go down. He came off before he was even off the pitch. Sorry, he came off the pitch before he was even subbed off, and then ended up going straight down the tunnel. I don't know what happened. I don't know what's wrong. but he did come straight off and go straight down the tunnel. So I would suspect, my gut would say it might be more precautionary than anything else. If we're being honest about it, it's not a good sign, but my gut would say it could be precautionary. 2-1 is the score. Cambridge United scoring from Ibsen Rossi. It was a nice goal from a corner. They just played a really nice ball into a sort of dangerous area. Into a fairly dangerous area. The header was a bit awkward, but it lands at the feet of Rossi, who reacts fastest, swings his foot. It's a nice finish. Fabianski can't stop it. Then literally the next thing that happened from kickoff, West Ham attack down the left-hand side. It ends up at the feet of Mikel Antonio. Downs can't quite take the shot, but Jared Bowen, just on the edge of the area, hits a really nicely struck right-footed shot with the outside of his weak foot. Really good connection, really good finish from Jared Bowen. Good pressing from Emerson and Fornals down the left-hand side to make it work. But yeah, Antonio lays it off. Flynn Downs can't quite get the ball from out under his feet, but the deflection off the Cambridge defender and Jared Bowen hits an absolute pile driver into that top right hand corner. And then the third goal, the own goal, it was a nice ball again. We've been hitting nice long diags today. Fornals into the path of Lanzini, back down to Emerson, who's approaching down the left hand side. He's a really nice pullback from Emerson, something we don't do often enough, and being honest, but there was no one really close. There was no one approaching. Simper just happens to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. It comes to him before he's entirely ready to steady himself, and it ends up just passing it into his own net. It's 2-1 to West Ham at the break. We'll be taking that. Gio will be here very soon. I think he's just eating his dinner. So until then, how are we all feeling? I mean, do you know what? It's been slightly higher tempo than I would have thought it would have been. I was a bit, you know, it's like with testimonials. Sometimes they can be slower than usual. Sometimes they can be exciting, fun affairs where everyone just scores loads of goals. But I was expecting this to be two teams who were just sort of doing it for fitness more than anything. But we've come out with there's been a little bit more riz from both teams, if you want to put it that way. Although not that much. It's not. Don't get me wrong. It's not a game where either team are going full force at it. I think Cambridge they've looked right. They've pressed relatively well. They've put some. They've made it difficult at times. They've not been. I don't think they're putting everything into it, but they've certainly pressed more than we have. For example, from a West Ham perspective, we've not looked super dangerous unless it has been from those sort of big balls over the top. When we've hit those big, long, direct passes, then we've looked pretty dangerous, whether that be crossfield diags into space for people like Mikel Antonio. Fornals has created some space. Jared Bowen's been creating a bit, although we've not been hitting him too accurately, but he's been doing it. Or just Mikel Antonio straight down the middle. Those long balls have caused them problems, and that's been something we've been doing with relative accuracy. We've been pretty good at. But when it comes to the ball being actually on the floor and playing it around and all that, it's just not. It's not zhuzhing. You know, it's not zhuzhing, which isn't a great thing to see. But I mean, again, there are a lot of things to say. This is a mid-season friendly. It's a pre-season friendly type thing. It's a testimonial match. There are a lot of different factors which make me not too concerned that this isn't the most unbelievable performance you're seeing all the time. But even then, not the most unbelievable performance since 2-1 to West Ham. So I'm not going to sit here and complain. But yeah. Randolph needs games time. What with Areola having back problems, which was why the French third choice goalkeeper played the other day. To be honest, I would just get rid of him. Randolph, that is. I just don't see the point in him being here. He's basically never going to play. I mean, from a personal, private level, I don't particularly want Randolph here anyway because of the very bad circumstances we signed him for. But when you're talking about just the situation, I would rather see Hedgie, if we're going to give someone game time, I'd rather see Hedgie get game time just because I'd rather see him play. Chances are he's literally never going to play because Ariel will get played and Fabianski will get played, right? But if someone's going to get game time, I'd rather him. We know, though, in that situation, he would play Randolph as opposed to Hedgie. Let's be real about it. He did the same with David Martin. He had the opportunity to play Trot and instead he played Narnton. Fab looks like he's wearing Kenny Everett gloves. Kenny Everett gloves. I don't even know what gloves Kenny Everett would wear, to be fair. But I'm going to back your beef, Peter. I'm going to back it wholeheartedly. He does, doesn't he? He does. Good to see you, Leonardo. How are you, my friend? Just finished Unicast for the day. How's the game been going? Hope you heard everything I said. Yeah, you did down here. Oh no, it doesn't sound too good. Long balls will not work with Skamaka in the channels. But we might be playing that just because of Antonio, although Antonio starting today is interesting to me. Although, I mean, you look at the bench. I mean, if I pull the bench up, for example, Ben Rama, outside of Ben Rama and arguably Sufal, Skamaka's the one guy on there who you would imagine would start in a game. I don't know. I'm trying to decide whether I can read into his tactics today in something he wants to do, because I think one of the problems with Moyes this season is he's not really gone in either direction too much. He hasn't gone all one way or all the other. He's sort of set somewhere in between this idea of what we could turn into and playing the old style Moyes system, and we've just got the worst of both worlds without really getting the best of either. And I felt like he needed to just put his foot down and go in one way or the other. And I felt like he probably would go back to type. I felt like he would go back to what he knows. We wouldn't see the likes of Scamacca or Paqueta used to their best. I felt like he would probably just sort of fold inwards on himself and go, actually, this is what we'll do. And I don't know whether we can read anything into today in terms of that kind of stuff. We'll see as the friendlies go on, if we're able to watch any more of them, how that ends up laying out. But it doesn't surprise me that we've gone back to looking a lot like a David Moyes team from when he first turned up. It doesn't necessarily surprise me. Yeah, it seems to be very classic Moyes to me. Here you go, standard Moyes, yeah. Just it is what it is. It just is what it is, right? Are we going to have a swap on how many change? Are we going to have a sweep on how many changes Moyes will make at halftime? I would go with 6. How many substitutions do you think David Moyes will make at halftime? I'm going to say 1. I'm going to go low on this one, Allison. I'm going to go low. Although it wouldn't surprise me if he went with a lot. Let's again, if we pull up the bench, you're looking at it. Randolph, Sufal, Ben Rama, Scamacca. There's 4 first-team players on that bench. Randolph you can make arguments for, but there's 4 first-team players on that bench that could come on. The youth players would be interesting to me. I don't know how many of those we'll see. My gut would say none, but again, he might change it up. He might do different things. I don't know. How many subs do you reckon we'll see at halftime? I'm going to say 1, but I reckon that could be low. Allison's going 6. Where are we at? Look how preseason went. So can't use that as an excuse if we're going to turn things around this season. Not wrong. I thought Randolph was trying to move, but had no championship teams made a concrete offer. As far as I'm aware, he wanted to leave. That was what I had heard. How accurate that is, I don't know, but I'd heard that he wanted out. I think Villa were the team who were interested in him and offered, but it doesn't end up working out for whatever reason. Whether or not that's true, I don't know, but that's what I heard. That's what I remember. And so I suspect if there was an opportunity, but I would just contract to get rid of. I really don't. But as Richard said, I don't know how much he's on, if he's on that much, but you know, not as far as I'm aware. I mean, he's gone more him. It's more David Moyesy than we have been of late. I mean, you know, there's a lot of reasons why watching David Moyes football like West Ham's frustrating, but this feels a lot more David Moyesy than otherwise. But I don't know if I would say he's changed anything more than he's just doubled down. But we'll see. That's Richard C there. I mean, you know, it's the Scamacca thing. We'll see. Like I said, I kind of don't want to read too much into it yet, even though I think you probably could. I don't want to read too much into it yet, just because I feel like we've got a lot of just players that exist in that realm, right? So what I mean by that is we have a lot of time to see if the players can exist in that realm. So I'm not too overly concerned about him not playing today. We will see. Like I say, I suspect he'll come on. My gut says he'll come on. I don't know when, but he'll probably end up coming on. And then we'll see as the I keep saying preseason, as the mid-season friendlies go on, exactly where that ends up lying. You know. Cresswell is injured, Hughes. Good to see you, by the way. He went off injured in the first half at some point, very early in. It was about 15 minutes in. He went down the tunnel before he was in substitutions off. So God knows what's going to happen there. Best way to get the best out of Scamacca is to play through balls to his feet. Yeah, which isn't something we're doing too much today. Although we have done it today, and Mikel Antonio's just not being able to do anything with them. There's a lot of things to do with Skamaka that we just need to be doing that we aren't doing at the moment. Hopefully, we're using this time to sort of figure that out. Yeah, I don't personally. I would say no. Like preseason, right? My stance on preseason is never about the results. It's about the fitness. It's about everything else around it. You can make arguments about several different things, but realistically, I don't think results matter personally. Not this one. Subs wise, Amy thinks there'll be 3. Anthony reckons 0. And Skamaka for Antonio. Surely, says Lewis. 3 changes at the break. Says Peter, who's agreeing with Amy. Performances matter. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, as opposed to anything else. Gia, how do you feel?
Nah, it's difficult. It's just a friendly, isn't it? It feels like a friendly, doesn't it? Glorified training session and all that. A couple of enthusiastic players out there for us. I think Bowen and Finals are busy buzzing around. Can't say I'm excited about the return of the Premier League. I was hoping for more. I'll be honest with you. I was hoping to, at the start you were saying, "Oh, I need a bit of West Ham," but I was hoping to have that feeling once the game finishes, thinking, "Oh, I'm glad I've watched that. I'm glad West Ham are back. Looking forward to Saturday now," kind of thing. Well, I'm not really feeling it at the minute. I think there's 1 or 2 players playing poorly, even though it's only Cambridge and a friendly. And obviously the Creswell potential injury has overshadowed it a little bit. So, yeah, I'm okay, Charlie, but I was hoping for a little bit more. I was hoping to feel a bit more positive and upbeat at this point.
Yeah, I'm sort of take it or leave it. I'm enjoying watching West Ham again. There's some stuff where it's just like, whatever, but then again, it's been like that all season. We'll see. I'll let you talk. I'm going to run off. I'll be as quickly as I humanly can.
Cheers, Charlie.
I'll see you in a sec.
I was a bit late. I was having my tea. Korean barbecue chicken. Was nice. Anyway, let's see what you're all saying. Thank you for everybody that is still with us. Has kept Charlie company for the first half. Hope he's keeping company for the second half as well. And join me at full time for the reviews. Sofiane says, "As Moyes there, I thought he was in Qatar." Well, see, this is a problem with stories. They only give you bits of stories, don't they? So when that story came out that Moyes was going to Qatar, I didn't tell you when or why. So I expect he's. I just assumed he's at the game. Why wouldn't he be? Rachel says that Skamaka's coming on for the second half. Antonio gave his shirt to one of the Cambridge players going off at half time. Would make sense just to give them both. I'd imagine we'll ring the changes out at half time as well. Let's see what you're all saying. Marky Boy says, "Someone tell Moyes we're playing Cambridge, not Real Madrid, in the Champions League friendly." Lewis says the rumour is that Skamaka's carrying a slight injury, so maybe he'll only play a cameo. I'm just relieved he's on the bench, to be honest with you, Lewis, after that rumours the other day that he's going to be injured. Hello, the disabled team. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're grand. Leo says it sounds good. He's just had a bowl of oatmeal. It was good, actually. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Sniffer says square sausage. Lorne. It's called Lorne sausage with tatty scones. I do love a tatty scone. I'm not going to lie. Tatty scones are unmatched. I had to go find them when I moved. When I moved to England, I had to go seek out where to purchase tatty scones from, because I am not having an English without a tatty scone in there. I guess your argument would be it's not an English breakfast, then you're making a Scottish one. But I need black pudding and I need tatty scone, right? But anyway, I found it, not a problem. The local Tesco do it. It's fine. It's not even out of my way. White pudding, on the other hand, has been a bit of a nuisance. But good news on that front, ladies and gentlemen. Not that you care. We discovered Monday. Yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Morrison's are stocking white pudding again. That's a result as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, right, let's have a little look and see what you're all saying. Peter saying it's a shame Obama isn't in the squad. He played for the under 18s, didn't he? He got a couple of goals for them against Tottenham. They're top of the league. I can see both sides. I get why you'd like to see him in the first team, but I get why we're just leaving him in his age group, scoring goals for the under 18s, try to win that league. And plus, he scored a brace against Tottenham, went 3-1 down, 1-4-3. Happy days. Am I a fan of Billy Connolly? I am. He was my first favourite comedian, the Big Yin. Fortunate to have seen him once, because Well, he's not. I'd be shocked if he's on the circuit again. He's not in the greatest of health, is he? I don't think. I don't really know. I was always saying I don't think he'll be with us for too much longer, but he certainly, his health is not in the best place. But yeah, he's an icon, is Billy Connolly. Richard said that Scottish food may be more interesting in the game. Sharky says it's decent scran. Oh, don't worry, Leo. It's not English. It's not English food. It's Scottish food. I mean, Richard doesn't know what a tatty scone is either. I don't even know how to describe it. I don't even know how to describe it. I feel like Googling it to get the official description for you to tell you, but it's delicious. Peter, do I like Still Game? I do. I love Still Game. Very funny. Non-Scottish people can enjoy it. I think that's what I like about it as well. Ron D'Antoni said that team spirit doesn't seem as high. I think I have to be honest with you. I think that is probably what I was a little bit disappointed with in the first half. It is only a friendly, but I was hoping to feel that the boys are aware we're in a relegation battle and like they're going to come out the traps and say, "Look, don't worry, don't worry to that you traveling fans who are loud. Don't worry. Look, we're taking it seriously. We realize we're in the mess. We're going to work hard, play hard in friendlies, get some goals and stuff." And it was a great goal from Jared Bowen as well. Anyway, so
the second half is about to kick off, Gio. I'll let you run off. Thank you very much for coming.
Charlie, do you know what a tatty scone is?
No, I know what a scone is, but I don't know.
No, tatty one.
No clue.
It's completely different. Google it. When you see the image of it, you'll get baffled. But we're discussing it now because someone asked if I've had one from a tea along with a squared sausage. But
is this a Scottish thing?
Yeah, it is.
What
but you get them in England.
It looks like a pita bread.
Mate, oh no, I don't know how to describe. What's the official description of it?
It says it's made from potato. Hang on, let me click on the first. Traditional Scottish tatty scone recipe. Is this a breakfast thing? It looks like a breakfast thing. I'm trying to read through this like.
Yeah, I have it. I have it with my English, my cooked. My Tesco does some. It's good. They're in the bakery bit. Beside pancakes, you'll find them beside pancakes. That's where you'll find them.
They do look very pancakey, and they say they're made.
Mate, they're unbelievable. Next time you have an English, if you're watching this, right? There's only 100 of you. You're watching this. Next time you have an English, you make one at home. Just think, hang on a minute. I'm going to go to the bakery section. I'm going to find the tatty scone. They comes in packs of 6 or 8. Kingsmill do them as well, so you'll probably be able to pick their ones up. Get them and have them with your own cook. You can whack them in the frying pan for a couple of minutes once everything's cooked. A dry one, not a wet one. A dry frying pan. Toast them, grill them for a couple of minutes. Make them a little bit warm. That's all you need to do. It's effortless, but they are delicious. And once you've ate up all your cooked, got that bean sauce, get that last bit of tatty scone, run it over the plate. Oh, delicious. Anyway,
they do look good. I'll give you that. I'm looking at them longingly. I'm hungry and I want it.
Amy's going to do it. I think Daniel's a bit interested. Richard seems keen. Anyway, I'll leave you with that. I don't even get me started on stovies, Josh. Jesus, don't even. Top tier.
What's a stovie? I've never even heard of
stovies. It's plural. You're gonna have to. He spelt it correctly. Stovies are just unbelievable. Charlie, you would love stovies. I promise you.
I'm seeing lots of potato stuff here, and I'm not against it. I can't lie to you. Scottish stovies.
It's meat and potato.
Oh, this looks good, Gio.
Oh, it's 10 out of 10. Honestly, stories are just incredible. Right, I'm going to disappear. I need to watch this game. I'm catching a bit.
Yeah. Bro, that looks good. Now we're here. Now the watchdogs are back, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Just discussions about food. It has kicked off the second half. I was trying to quickly scan the players to see if any changes were made. I didn't see any happening at halftime. Skamaka's on. I can say that much. Skamaka's on, but he's the only one I think. No, that's Ben Rama. Ben Rama's there. Who's that wide on the left? I'm not sure, but Skamaka has definitely come on up front. We've got Ben Rama on the right-hand side. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. But yeah, mate, now we're here. Lewis, we would take it. I can't lie to you. I would specifically take it. I don't know if anyone else's the stream's gone down. It probably has. Yeah, it has. Stream's gone down. Oh no, we're back. We're fine. It's fine. Randolph is on. Okay. Is there anyone else that I've missed? Ben Rama's definitely on. I think, is that Sufal? Maybe Sufal's come on. Is it the 4 first team players? Sufal, Randolph, Ben Rama, and Skamaka? I think it might be who came on. Trying to see if anyone else came on. Sufal on. Okay, so that was right. I did just see Sufal out of the corner of my eye. Richard. I mean, look, if you ask me right now, it would be the Tascon because that just sounds so interesting to me. But I can't act like I couldn't go for a pot noodle as well. Again, Richard, don't tempt us. Don't tempt us. Cheers, Leonardo. Enjoy the game, my friend. Enjoy the game. And make sure to come back after because, of course, Gio will be live with his full-time match review straight after the full-time whistle. So make sure to come back and check that out, Leonardo, and anyone else. Just make sure to check that out. If you're new around here, make sure to subscribe. We're, of course, covering as much of the friendlies as we can, as well as the World Cup, as well as all the West Ham news happening during the World Cup. And on top of that, we've got lots of bits and pieces going on. And then once the 26th of December, we're back in full flow. Watch-alongs for every single game. Only West Ham channel to do a watch-along for every single game we could last season. And we've only missed 2 since we started doing the watch-alongs in general. 1 this season, which is very annoying for me because of the role that we were on. I still haven't looked at the streak. Well, I should have checked the streak. But, get involved and like the video if you're here. If you enjoy it still, if you enjoy it at all, check out the like button. Give that a little press. We're at 61. We might be able to get to 100. It feels like a stretch. I'll be real with you. I don't know what we were ever going to get to today, but it feels like it'd be a lovely thing, Rob. Can't lie to you, it'd be a lovely thing. Even though I'm always in it, it'd be a lovely thing. Skamaka does well there. That's a really nice ball as well down to Sufal. He's got Ben Rama just on the inside of him. Can't quite find a cross. I tell you what, it was a really nicely done there from West Ham. Just a nice swift counter-attack. Our counter-attacking's not been bad today, but it's usually been when we've hit very direct long balls. That was a nice, really nice counter-attack on the floor. Skamaka picking up the ball about on the halfway line. A little shimmy, turn, plays a really nice chipped through ball into the path of Sufal, who can't quite get the ball in there. Whipped in. Can't quite find it. Flynn downs on the edge of the area. Nods it back towards the goal, but can't really do anything. Cambridge now on a counter-attack. Pace seems to have picked up ever so slightly. Nibs on the ball for Cambridge. Takes his way inside and back out again. Does well. Emerson covering well, space-wise there. Just make sure his time is in. There we go. Now it's in time with the one on the stream. What's a baby stovey? Mate, this is a whole new world that my eyes are being opened up to. I don't know a lot about Scottish cuisine. All I'm saying is it sounds interesting to me. It sounds very interesting to me. Played in from Cambridge, trying to. It was a nice idea for a little 1-2, trying to create a bit of space, not quite making it work. So I think the 4 substitutes were the 4 first team players that were left on the bench. We called it out at half-time. I believe that is what it is. Randolph is in goal. Sufal's come on for Ben Johnson on the right. Who's on the left? Is it Antonio? That's the one I'm trying to figure out. Who's on the left-hand side? Because, oh wait, no, Ben Johnson's there as well. Have we changed to a 5 at the back? No, we can't have. Has Ben Johnson... No, Ben Johnson's moved into the centre for Dawson. Dawson's come off. That's what it is. So Sufal is playing right. So right, Randolph in goal. Sufal on the right. We've got a centre-back pairing of Johnson and Ogbonna, with Emerson at left wing back. We still have that midfield 2/3 with Coventry and Downs in the centre. Fornals is still on. He's taking up sort of central-ish positions. We've got Skamaka up front. We've got Ben Rama on the left. Yeah, and Antonio. Right, okay. So Antonio is the other one. So, it's Randolph in goal. We have Sufal, Johnson, Ogbonna, and Emerson in defence. We have in midfield, we have Downs and Coventry. And then just ahead of them, 3 of Antonio, Ben Rama, and 4 Fornals. And then up front, Skamaka. Which is kind of interesting to me. I have wanted to see Antonio and Skamaka play in some sort of formation like this. Antonio loses a lot when he goes out wide, in my opinion, but the spacing and annoyance he can create, I think, would be useful for Scamacca. So I'd be interested to see how that ends up playing out. It's a nice idea. Nice try to play a big crossfield diag there by Sufal. Doesn't quite work out looking for Benrahma, but it was a nice idea. Cambridge deal with the pressure relatively well, although they are under a lot of it right now. We're actually seeing some pressing from West Ham, which is nice. Something we haven't seen enough of today, but it doesn't quite work out. Dawson, yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. I couldn't figure it out. For ages. What about a Charlie versus Food Big Baby Boy Bonanza challenge? Instead of a baby star. Oh, mate. Richie, you are talking my language. Richie, you are talking my language. That sounds like an unreal shout. I'm gonna have to go to the shops at some point and see if we get this Stovey thing going, because now we're talking big things. Cambridge is a good opportunity for them. They're good in position, played in, and it's header from Ogbonna, sort of diving header away. Antonio shifted over onto the right hand side from the left side where he was previously. Ooh, it's going to be a corner. A stinging shot from range from Cambridge United. I'm not sure who took it. All of a sudden, it just opened up a little bit of space, and he just hit a big old hit from range, and Randolph caught unaware, tries to get down quickly to his left-hand side to stop it, and he can't. To be honest with you, it's one of those ones where he probably should have kept it in his hands, but it's just bounced out for a corner. Whipped in. That was more West Ham-like. Hits the first man. That was a more West Ham-like corner. Benrahma, it was a nice couple of touches, but couldn't quite get the space and could never really get control of the ball to play it forward to Antonio. Commentary, another foul in the centre of park. This doesn't feel like a testimonial. Feels like a friendly. Someone give Cambridge a penalty so Greg can score. Yeah, I think Gio made a joke about that on the preview, about the idea of both teams kind of need it, so we won't be seeing that kind of nonsense happening. But, I mean, it feels a little bit more than a friendly. Oh, Jesus Christ. That was almost an incredible goal from Cambridge. They came flying forward down the left-hand side, and I think it was Nibs. I mean, the commentator on the West Ham stream's voice broke as he screamed it. It's a great hit, complete. Randolph left for dead. Really nice turn. Ogbonna sent for dinner. Turns around, hits it early with his left foot. Smacks it from a really difficult angle. Completely beats Randolph. Smashes on the underside of the bar. And goes out for a West Ham throw. And West Ham can work their way forward to Sufal with an awful pass. But my God, what a hit that was. That was almost a beautiful, beautiful goal. Marte, hope you're well, my friend. Hope you're having a good day. Why not start like this? The man gets... it is what it is. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah. I believe, that's what I was going to say. I think it feels more like one of those sort of games, to be fair. I believe they're League One. I think. I should have checked this before the game. My gut says League One. The subs were Benrahma for Lanzini, Sufal for Dawson, Scamacca for Bowen, and Randolph for Fabianski. That makes sense. Thank you, Richie. That makes perfect sense. I was trying to figure out who went off for Benrahma. Lanzini, that makes sense now. Thank you. Going again, Cambridge now. Oh, that's nicely done. Oh, really nicely done by Nibs twice there. Really nicely done. Just close control, taking it around two West Ham players. Taking it around, I think it was Antonio and Benrahma who were trying to defend him. And they've got a corner. Cambridge stepping up a couple of gears here. Flipping it. It's just a poor time for Switzerland. Oh, really good by Nibs. Yeah, he takes around Emerson, takes it through Antonio. I think he nutmegs Antonio on the way through as well. Really nicely done. And they're going to get another corner here, Cambridge. They scored from corner the first time round. Second one hit first man. That one a lot better. Couldn't quite get a header on it though. And it drops for Williams on the edge of the area who hits it, and it was always rising. Dangerous. I'm not going to lie. Quite scary right now. Cambridge is sort of on the ascendancy. It feels like if any team's going to score right now, it's them, although they have got an injury. Not sure who it is, but they do have an injury in the centre of the park. Ball gets played in from the corner. It was headed away and it lands to Williams, but it's always just rising. He hits it as it's going up. It's just a strike from range. Not too accurate. Not too accurate. There you go, Rich. Oh, Richie's doing bits for me. Thank you very much, Richie. League One, 20th. There's 24 teams in that league. Yeah, they're in a relegation battle. Again, it was something Gio spoke to Greg Taylor, a person who today's testimony. If you don't know, by the way, just in case, I mean, we've mentioned it a couple of times, but some of you might have only just joined or whatever. If you don't know, testimonial. The person the testimonial was for Cambridge is Craig Taylor, their centre back, who's got the captain's armband today. He is a West Ham fan. That's why it's West Ham versus Cambridge for the testimonial. And we had him on the channel. If you look at the Cambridge preview, and to be honest with you, I would recommend watching the Cambridge preview regardless. If you haven't already seen it, I would highly recommend going back and watching it, even after this game, because they do talk about the game and how the game will play out, but it is just more an interview with a player who plays professional football in League One, who is a West Ham fan, and his opinions on West Ham, his opinion on football, his opinion on Cambridge. I think it's really good, and Greg comes across as such a nice person, and it made me more excited to see this game, just to see, like, this is the guy we're doing it for. He seems like a good dude. So I'd highly recommend watching it, but they did speak about, like, Cambridge being in a bit of a relegation battle on surviving this season and how that's all going to go for them and stuff. It was Nibs who went down for Cambridge. He's back up and he's walking, so hopefully he'll stay on because he's looked really good today. In this second half especially, he's just come alive. So from a Cambridge perspective, it would suck. For the game perspective, it would suck as well. I'd like to see more of him, to be honest with you. I don't know what more the players have to do to throw Moisey under the bus. They've been trying for 2 months. You know, we always move slow. It's never going to happen. We're going to see some subs. We're going to see some subs now. Right, do I recognise either of them? I recognise the second guy, but I'm not sure it is. Is it Ekwa? I'm not sure. So 53 and 46 coming on. So Ben Johnson and Ogbonna. So we've changed both our centre-backs. Ekwa's come on. So I don't know who's playing centre-back now. So Forbes and Ekwa have come on for Ogbonna and Coventry, which means we're going to have a makeshift centre-back pairing, as far as I'm aware. I'm trying to figure out who it is. We've got Forbes at right centre-back. I'm not sure. Is Forbes a defender? I think he is. Forbes is a defender. Who's at left centre-back? Who's that? Coventry? Trying to find Randolph under a bit of pressure there. Ends up hooking it out to Sufal. Does well. Benrahma lays it in short to Downs. Back to Sufal. I'm trying to figure out. So Forbes has come on at right centre-back. Left centre-back, though, I'm not sure who that is. I'm trying to figure it out as we go. It's not Downs. Is it Coventry? It's not Coventry. Oh, it's number 65. Another sub happened and I wasn't concentrating. So someone else has also come off. Number 65 is on at centre-back. So Ekwa's come on in midfield. Forbes is at centre-back alongside someone else. Not sure who. God knows. We'll figure it out as it goes. But Forbes has come on at centre-back alongside another one of the youth players. I'm not sure who. Ekwa's also come on in midfield. It's Liang. Liang's come on up front. Who I thought was a forward. I don't know the youth team well enough at this point. It's been many years since I really knew the youth team in and out. Oh, that's a really nice piece of play by Benrahma. Downs and Skamaka's through. Skamaka hits it straight at the goalkeeper. A second opportunity. Hooked. He's offside, Mikel Antonio. But that was maybe one of the worst hits of it. I can't believe that. Really nice play from West Ham. Quickly played. Sufal plays it into the path of Downs. Nice play from him, Ben Rama, and nice first time pass into the path of Skamaka, who should have done better if we're being honest. He has all the time in the world and hits it directly at the goalkeeper. Second time though, he strikes it. It's completely going wide to Mikel Antonio, who is stood, and I cannot stress this, in the 6-yard box. The ball comes directly at his feet. He's practically on the line, and somehow, I don't know if it hits the post or the goalkeeper. It hits one or the other. It does not go in. Or a defender. It's cleared off the line by the defender. I can't believe that. I cannot believe that. But honestly, a good opportunity for Cambridge, who come up the other end as the replay comes back. Looking to try and turn and hit it, but it was always going over. Always going over a score kick. But that was such a good opportunity. He's offside in the end anyway, but still. So, we now have Forbes and, yeah, Levi Liang, or Langi, maybe? I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. Let's go with Lang. Lang. I just sound like I'm saying something weirdly there. So we've got Lang and Forbes at centre-back. We've got Emerson at left back. We have Sufal at right back. We have Coventry and Downs in the centre of the park with Ekwa. It looks more like a more traditional 4-3-3 now, looking at it a little bit. Ben Rama on the left-hand side, Antonio on... Ben Rama on the right-hand side, Mikel Antonio on the left, and Skamaka down the middle. Lots of youth players. Thank you very much, though, for the people who've corrected me, because I've got no idea. You do. He hits it, and it hits it. Stick to Levi. Great shout. Levi and Forbes at centre-back. I apologise, Levi. I just don't know how to pronounce your surname, and I'm an idiot. I apologise. I'll call you Levi now until I am smart enough to actually learn, which will never happen because I'm an idiot. I apologise, sir, but we'll stick to Levi for now. 4 nows went off. Yeah, 4 nows went off for Ekwa, it looks like, because he's playing centre midfield. It looks like a much more traditional 4-3-3 now. There we go. Yeah. Michael Forbes. Just nothing left. Sad times. Thank you, Richie, by the way. Appreciate it. Michael Forbes. Sounds like an actor who would do a car insurance advert. Michael Forbes. I don't know why that's making me laugh. Ben Rama. He does well. He's got no options, but he does well to keep hard the ball. Ekwa comes in and collects it for him after. Don't know what went on there. My brain just sort of broke. Laid short to Coventry. Playing it round. Antonio out wide. Plays it into the path of Liang. Levi. Ben Rama does well. Wins a corner. He did well there. There wasn't really many options for him, and he could have laid it maybe back for Sufal, who was sort of there, who could have maybe crossed the ball in, but it was one of those ones where he sort of was trying to get the ball in himself, ends up winning a corner relatively well from it. I don't know how any of the youth players are in the air, but we're about to find out. Ekwa's going to come across to take the corner. We can say that. On the right-hand side, number 46, Ekwa. You can take a man out of the youth team. You can't take you can take a man out of the youth team. It doesn't make a difference. He's still going to hit the corners like a first-team player. Straight at that first man. They've not been bad, to be fair. And they've looked very lively as well, like I say. They've not been bad. We're going to see a couple more substitutions, the full-on substitutes. Just to ask those questions, by the way, if people are asking whether David Moyes is actually on the bench or not. I don't think he is. Kevin Nolan seems to be the guy who's in charge today. Kevin Nolan's the one who's standing up the pitch and stuff. Warburton is there as well, but we don't see anything else. We're seeing another double sub. It's Downs and Antonio coming off. Potts is one of them. And Swire, yeah, Swire's the other one. So we've got Swire and Potts coming on for Antonio and whoever it was I just said. Was it Downs? Did I just say it? Was it Downs? It's YouTube. I can rewind. Yeah, Downs and Antonio. Downs and Antonio. Be interested to see. I guess Skamaka's up front. So what will we see? Yeah, I would assume he's in. I would assume he's I would assume he's in Qatar, because he's been working there, isn't he? So. Oh, Elbow, good to see you, by the way. Good to see you, Elbow, by the way. Do we get to stay up this season? Let's go yes. Let's say yes. I'm still not concerned about relegation, but let's say yes. Well, Ben Rama does well. He has Potts on the inside of him. He has... Oh! Fair play, Syed Ben Rama. That is a fantastic goal. That is a fantastic goal. I'll tell you what, Bowen's strike earlier was good. That is next level. That is very, very good. Syed Ben Rama makes it 3. He takes it forward, pushes, and then just in around the area, it's a very Syed Ben Rama goal. Hits an absolute perler into the top corner. Nice, again, nice counter-attacking football. Skamaka with a really nice through ball to him. Flicked over the top, and he just takes off. Taylor's backing away. And in a second, he gives him even a little bit of space. Syed Ben Rama hits an absolute perler into that top bins. Really nicely done from West Ham. Really nice counter-attacking, quick down the left-hand side. Beautiful stuff from Skamaka. And again, Taylor steps up to Ben Rama. Ben Rama manages to get him on the wrong foot, turns him, and he absolutely pings it into top corner. Really nice finish from Syed Ben Rama. Again, another one I would highly recommend going and checking out. Just before the 70th minute, 69 minutes. Give it a watch. Syed Ben Rama makes it 3-1 to West Ham. Great ball from Skamaka. Great ball. That was really nice. That was really good. You know, he has a bit of it in him. I mean, like, he's obviously nowhere near as good as Payet. I'm not for a minute suggesting that. Payet's the best player I've ever seen play in a West Ham shirt, right? But he does have that sort of level inside him. He's a Premier. People who don't think he's a Premier League player, he's a Premier League player. It's just a case of finding it consistently. Seeing people in the official chat just talking about Kevin Nolan's Claret Blue Army. He's very good. He is very good. Probably something like that. I mean, I suspect it's 5. My gut says it's to the end of January. That would be my gut. But I also think he'll survive. I also think he'll be here at the end of the season. I think he'll survive to the end of the season, and I think he'll be here to the end of the season, and I think will survive. I'm not too concerned about either of those things. I think those two things are true. But I think if you were to say how many games is it going to have to go wrong before something would change, I would suspect it would be, my gut says it would be 5. To the end, basically to the end. I say 5 to the end of January. So that's 5 Premier League games. We've got a cup game in there somewhere. I'm not sure where, but yeah. Sufal trying to play the ball forward. Nice solid passing from West Ham. Ekwa's in a really good position to have a pop himself. Ekwa! Oh! And another absolute banger. Fair play. Ekwa's just made it 4 with a really, really nice goal. Really nice play again. Mate, it's almost like the youth team are quite good or something. It's almost like they just know each other and play quite well, a different style of football. Because that's really nice play down the right-hand side. Sufal and some of the other youth team players picking it up. Ekwa hits a quick 1-2. Whoever it was went down emphatically. But Ekwa just outside the area, just on the edge of the D, hits it with his left boot into that bottom right-hand corner. West Ham United 4, Cambridge United 1. That's a really, really nice finish from Ekwa. Skamaka made a nice run just to pull them away from him. Nicely done. Very nicely done. Cambridge United 1, West Ham United 4. There we go. It's a bit more fun now, isn't it? Oh, I've completely moved that. It's a bit more fun now, isn't it? It's not as stressed as it was a little while ago. You know, youth players on, scoring lots of goals. We're having a bit of a fun time now. You know, football's back. Way. It's a really nice finish. That's a really nice finish. To be fair, at least he didn't start him. Then it would have been an issue. Although, again, I wouldn't step to Kevin Nolan. If he's next to Mark Warburton, I don't know if Mark Warburton or Kevin, who's in charge. All I'm saying is, I wouldn't step to Kev on it. You know? Yeah, it's a really nice finish from there. Really nice in the build-up, really nice finish. Brentford away in the cup. Yeah, Christine, do you know when it is? I feel like it's January. I said it on the stream like 4 times, but I don't remember for the sake of me when it is. We'll be doing a watch-along when it happens, but I don't remember for the sake of me when it is, but still. Never in doubt. Was there ever any doubt? Really good goal from Ekwa. Oh, Cambridge, it's a nice opportunity. They're inside the area, trying to find an opportunity, trying to spin their way. Jana on the ball. Stepping up to Sufal. Oh, really nicely done from Jana. Really nicely done. The ball in. Couldn't quite find anyone in the end. But really nice spinning away from Sufal. Headed away again by Forbes. Ben Rama goes down. It's going to be a free kick. Probably a little bit easy there, if we're being honest about it. He goes down as if he was hitting the face. What a nice turn from Jana. Again, he's looked good today, and he's just absolutely mugged off Sufal there really nicely. Short passing on the floor. Just he's probably losing his mind right now. He's probably absolutely losing it. Would you sign a defender if Cresswell and Ogued injuries are serious, or the Brazilian centre-back we're signing is enough? I'd sign a defender, but as far as I'm aware, this Brazilian centre-back coming in as a sort of, I don't want to say under-21s, but like a project type player. He's not going to come in and start. That's my understanding. I should say I've never seen him before. I've never even heard of him until we were interested in him. Right, I really don't know enough about him, so I can't really say much about it. What I would say is that that's my understanding, is that he would come in as like a project to grow, as opposed to you know, a starting first team player or anything. We'll see, but that's the way it seems to me, so I would sign someone. Especially, I mean, look, Emerson, we've got Scars, I guess, who could step up as a second choice person behind him, so maybe that's fine. If any of the centre-backs seem to be at that level where they could maybe play, maybe we just try and deal with it. The bigger problem, of course, is Dawson could be leaving as well, and at that point, you probably need a centre-back. But I don't know. He got injured today for Morocco. Obsidian. He went off injured. Thank you guys. I'm sure it was somewhere in there. Yeah, he got injured today, Obsidian. He went off against Spain for Morocco. Injured. We don't know how serious it is. We'll see the next couple of days and leading up to the quarterfinals, because Morocco went through. So we'll see what happens there, but he could be out. I don't really mind who it is. I don't really mind who signs it. You could make an argument for Sullivan, which I would suspect is probably true. He hasn't had any of those in a while, so it seems like something true. Skamaka in a good position. He has Ben Rama just outside him. He wants a goal. He hits it. Oh, flipping heck. That was close. Mannion, the goalkeeper, Holden, who's come on at some point, I think, for Cambridge. Skamaka had a couple of opportunities to pass, but he had only eyes for goal in that one. He hits it from range, and it wasn't a particularly great shot, but Holden gets down and stops it, and then it almost just dribbles into net behind him. It goes out for a corner, at least. It's going to be a corner. Yeah, I don't mind who it is who signed him. It doesn't seem like an expensive deal. I'm sort of okay with it. I'm sort of fine with it, if I'm being honest. Like, whatever ended up happening in that situation, but we'll see. Emerson's going to take the corner from the left-hand side, because it could be Newman as well. The signing, at least, of Lazar. Cleared away from first man, obviously. You know. I'd take whoever it is. It was a really nice idea from Lancaster to try and find Janet on the left-hand side. Nice outside debut pass. Doesn't quite work out. McCambridge maintained possession of the ball, but it was a nice idea. Yes, basically, this is what I've heard. But I don't. But again, I really do not know anything about him. I couldn't even tell you what team it was. I think it was Sao Paulo, but I can't remember, honestly. Oh, Scamacca. Finds Soufal. It was a little bit awkward, but Soufal cross into Scamacca was not great. Scamacca misses a great opportunity to make it 5. Unlucky. He finds Soufal a little bit awkwardly. Soufal's cross wasn't great, but I'm surprised he even ended up at the feet of Scamacca, if I'm being honest about it. But it's played across. He has the time to control it. No one's even close to him, and he just tries to place it into that bottom corner. And it just pings the outside of that post. Just hits the outside of it. Yeah, he went off on a stretcher. I mean, he came back on to celebrate the win and was walking, and he was walking after, but yeah, we'll see. It's not quite Antonio levels, but yeah. Not quite Antonio levels, but yeah. Yeah. We're on 70 likes. If everyone watching right now hit the like button right now this second, we'd get 100. Again, I think that's a stretch. We've got 10 minutes to get there. I think it's a stretch. I don't think we're going to get it. But, you know, Bants, why not give it a shot? I should also say, by the way, I haven't said it. I know it's happened in the pre-show. Liam, I don't know if you're still here, but Liam, if you are, thank you very much for that. It's very kind. Cambridge United are through. That's a pen. It's a pen. Liam, thank you very much. Will they let Greg Taylor take it? My gut says probably not. But it is a penalty to Cambridge United. A little bit of awkwardness from us in the passing. Connor Coventry and Emerson linking up. Emerson with just a bad pass, and it's just charging through. And it's Levi Liang, let's say, who took it. Let Greg take it. Come on, Greg. Greg stepped up. Ladies and gentlemen, you won't often see me want someone to score against us, but Greg Taylor, the person whose testimonial is stepping up to take the pen. We made this joke. I'm thinking I probably won't get one. We've now actually have a penalty. Go on, Greg. Finish it, lad. He slots it home. Fair play. There we go. Greg gets the goal. Big up, Greg. Big up, Greg. Let's go. I don't know how many goals he's had in his career. He's a centre-back, so I suspect corners and stuff. I don't know. But he finishes it with aplomb. He sends Randolph the wrong way. Slots it home. Love that. We'll take it. That's fine by me. That's absolutely fine by me. West Ham United 4, Cambridge United 2. And Greg Taylor gets the goal. And he's going to come off. That's the last thing he's going to do. And Job comes on in his place. Greggy is a hammer indeed. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take it. Greg Dino. Gregaldo, you know? I'm trying to think of one. I have another one locked and loaded in my head, but I can't quite find the words. 8 minutes left of the game. Greg Bauer. I'm just going to back out. I'm just going to classily back out because I can't think of anything intelligent. Same. I'm happy. He got his goal. Gets time to come off. 10 years is a long time in a League One team. Gregadonna. That'll be that's not bad. What's your if you've got any, lob them in chat. Any Greg-based footballers? Gregadonna, Gregaldo, Gregaldinho. Yeah. It's quite weird, isn't it, Taz? It's quite odd, but I'm super here for it as well, I can't lie. Oh. I'm old Greg. Solid reference, Lewis. Solid reference. Oh, Skamaka. This is a good opportunity to make it 5, and he's absolutely scooped that one as far. Apparently, there was a deflection, but it looked like to me he's absolutely hit that as high over the bar as humanly possible. Ball gets played over the top, and Skamaka, with a little bit of awkwardness, managed to battle and win the ball. Hits it. Apparently, it deflects. I mean, it flies in a way which seems like there's a deflection, to be fair. It dips in a wild way, so maybe it did, but I was going to say absolutely scared though. Oh, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I'll take that. Grenoble. Gregini. Now we're rocking and rolling, people. The corner goes over everyone for once. It doesn't hit the first post for once, or the front man. It goes over everyone. Oh, Ben Rama hits a cheeky rainbow flick in the corner. Oh, it's come out wide to Skamaka. I don't think it was Skamaka. It might be someone else, actually. Ekwa picks it up again. I tell you what, Ben Rama's having a good day, isn't he? Nice flick. Ekwa lays it nicely into the path of Potts. Tries to pull it back. No one there. Ekwa could get there again. Can't quite find it. Greg Rama. Side Greg Rama. Side Greg Rama is not bad. Gregatsu. Bro, what about... I'm trying... There was one here. That was like here. It was like embedded in my brain and I just couldn't find it. Tip of the tongues type stuff. And now I just can't find it. Trying to think. Grego Van Basten. I quite like the idea of just Greg Van Basten as well. Like not even trying for the wordplay. It's just Greg Van Basten. I quite like. You know? It was dirty. I can't know. But they can inform Mark Gregball. Gregimi, yes. I only think I could take this some of youth cameo performances. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, like I say, it's you know, it's a mid-season friendly testimonial. I mean, you can take some stuff from it, but not tons. Shout out to Hedgie, still not getting time on the pitch, despite every other youth player in the world getting it. Ekwa looks very good. Yeah, I think he's looking decent. I think a lot of the youth players are looking decent, to be fair. I think a lot of them are looking decent. Or Ben Rama finds Skamaka. If he doesn't score, he hits it wide again. If Skamaka doesn't score today, I don't know when he will. Ben Rama does well, finds him with a nice pass, and he is under pressure from the defender, to be fair, but he manages to shift it onto a strong foot and hits it, and it's just wide. Yeah. Oh, we got 2 Paolo de Gregios. Greg Ramos with a double G. Greginho, Pascal, Gregor. Oh, irons, yes. Looking at the rainbow flick from Ben Rama on the replay. Chef Grevchenko. Chef Gregchenko. Yeah, I'm backing it. He would definitely score at least 30 for AC Milan in a season. Skamaka's a new highlight. We'll see how it ends up playing out, Peter, but the signs are likely. Cambridge passing the ball around well. Good interception there from whoever that was in defence for West Ham. It's weird. I recognise about as many West Ham players right now as I do Cambridge players, which is a thing. Oh, Eckwood does nicely well. Yep, that's England. Good England, bro. Finds Ben Rama. He's got Skamaka on the inside. He takes on the defender. He takes him on, blasts him. He tries a little bit too much. It was a really nice opportunity. He's maybe caught somewhere between shooting and passing or crossing. I don't really know what he was thinking, but felt like he was caught a little bit into two minds. Just left it a little bit too long, and it ends up being a little bit of nothing. Sufal picks up the ball. Wide right. Can't quite make it work. Cambridge almost managed to counter-attack, but West Ham again get forward well. It does feel a little bit like that. It does feel a little bit like that. Deflected? Maybe. I mean, you know. Yama Greg Co. Yama Greg and Co. Yama Greg Co. Gregolenko. Yama Greg Co. Yeah, I back it. He won't. I'm very confident he won't leave in Jan Stew. Next summer will be a different story. We'll see what happens there. But I'd be unbelievably shocked if he left in January. I don't think it'll happen. Unless someone came up and offered what we paid for him. And even then, I'm not convinced it would happen. But then maybe there would be a temptation about it. But you'd have to replace him. And that's the thing. I don't think we're looking to replace him anytime soon. So that would be the bigger issue there. He is, yeah. Listen, I've got no problems with him. But I had no problems with Haller either. That's the difference here, right? I never had any problems with him. And I don't have any problems with your boy either. Oh, nice flick from Swire. Finds Sufal into Skamaka, who's again moving into a good area. It was a nice idea to try and play the ball out to Ben Rama. It didn't quite work out, but it was a really nice idea. Full-time whistle will be in any moment now. They're going to get a couple of subs just before it happens. Roberto Greglos, Gregory Beckham, Bastian Greg Steiger. Yes. 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 Just absolute pile drivers from outside the box. Jan Venegov Gregolink. Lewis, that is a barnstormer, my friend. That is an absolute barnstormer. That is the best one. Mainly just for the Vanagorov Hesselink shout, who I haven't thought about in maybe a decade. And so just getting to think about that beautiful Celtic striker is one thing. But getting a Jan Venegor of Gregolink is a beautiful, beautiful thing. There is the full-time whistle. The players who came on got a solid 2 minutes. From a West Ham perspective, that's probably the best way. Oh, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. Oh my God, we're flying now. You know, from a West Ham perspective, probably the best outcome possible. Pardon me. West Ham get a win. Greg Taylor gets a goal. You know, it worked out in that sense, but some positives, some negatives from a West Ham perspective. When you're looking at it, it is, of course, the first mid-season friendly type thing we've got going on. If there are any more being shown, we'll end up doing streams for those as well and talking about it and all as it happens. However, you know, we have won 4-2 and there were some outstanding goals in there. You're looking at the Ben Rama goal. You're looking at the Bowen goal. Some really Eckwood's goal. Some really nice finishes from our perspective that I would highly recommend checking out. And then, of course, your boy Greg gets the win. Greg gets the goal. Sorry, I should say, which is great to see. It was. It ended up that way. It started off in not that fashion, but it did end up being a vibey, fun game. So we'll be taking that. We'll be taking that all day. Gio will be live in just a moment with the full-time review, so stick around for that. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell notification button so you don't miss out on any future videos, because we have lots coming up all throughout the World Cup break. But then obviously after that, on the 26th of December, when football comes back full-time, we'll of course be here full-time. So make sure to hit that bell notification button, because we've got tons of stuff going on. And then while you're down there, hit the like. Why not? Why not? We'll see what it ends up getting to at the end of the day. But thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I really appreciate you all for coming. And I will see you all on the other side. See you on the other side. See you later, everyone. Bye.